Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Brighter Shores live stream, day 160. So of course it's been a few days, as of course at this point we've pretty much been doing this weekly thing, almost like their weekly spoiler post for everything that they're currently working on. But of course we went over that on the previous stream. However, we've gotten new drama, which feels like honestly like every single week these weeks. But there was a new post by Andrew Gower that did get deleted. It's the only news we've really had since the other big news drop. But yeah, it's this. I'm a bit baffled by people saying I am just not listening to community feedback. My last 5 months can be summarized as, first, implementing quality of life improvements directly in response to community feedback, most of which were pretty good. Implementing leaderboards and then changing them based on community feedback as far as making them actually work. Because that was something that I believe was originally on the roadmap, like, you know, making the leaderboard and then, you know, having that. It was mostly the feedback that they took that I believe took extra time overall, which I think is the main thing I was talking about, because that's the first time he had to delete a tweet, I'm pretty sure, was when it was going over to leaderboard that time. But honestly, I think the leaderboard's pretty much fine right now. There's a few things that could be changed with it. Like, one thing I was going to try to check, but I realized, oh yeah, you can't do that in Brighter Shores, is I was going to see where the top 100 is for every single leaderboard, but currently you can't. You can only see the top 20 or the people around you, or where all your friends are ranked. So unless you have a lot of friends that happen to be like exactly at that rank, it's really hard to be able to see like the fullness of the leaderboard. You can only really ever see the top or around where you currently are, rather than the whole thing simultaneously. Merging combat professions entirely in response to community feedback. This is probably the one that I feel like the game didn't really need overall, the whole merging thing. When I originally first, before the game even came out, I originally thought the combat system would end up being like that, but they ended up making it, well, not like that. Where originally I thought it was going to be, you know, one overarching combat, but every single area almost had like its own individual combat system, like, you know, almost like a Slayer system, kind of like if they took the previous format of what it was and then just had an overarching combat on top of that. That is what I originally thought they were going to do. But so far, the current state of the game is actually neither of those two things. Originally, it was, you know, every single one being separated both in combat and in how you end up doing it in each area. But now it is neither of those, as it's basically just one big mega combat, and you're always restricted to just a few enemies. But out of any of these, I feel like this is the main one that he might be criticizing right now about people, you know, think he's not listening to feedback or something. Though, in all fairness, the like thing that I wrote up for several hours that I sent to him on the beta, I still have not received a response to that, by the way. Remember when we ended up beta testing like the entire day? And then spent like 3 to 5 hours or whatever it was writing up an entire thing with at least like 30 different points. I've still never gotten a reply back to that at any point up to this point. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, if it just never got to them or what. But I don't know, does anyone else who ever messaged them get replies back through email? Because I have never received anything on that. So I'm not sure if they did end up getting that feedback or not when it came to that. But overall, I would say this is the main thing since launch that seemed like it didn't need to happen, but did end up happening. And it also ended up taking up like 3 months of dev time, pretty much, like 2 or 3 months. Online safety bill stuff, which of course is just a required thing that they have to do. And recruitment. They ended up recruiting, I believe, like 4 or 5 more people in order to get content out faster, which, I don't know. I felt like that's still nice, not necessarily required. He always said that he was going to kind of do it at his own pace. But, you know, faster content's better than not faster content. The reason we are behind on our early access roadmap, because originally I think it was supposed to be 6 months before launch, which means technically they should have launched in 1 month from now. Technically 20 days from now is originally where they were going to launch, but of course they aren't. They are nowhere close to launching within 1 month. But the reason we are so behind on our early access roadmap is because I have been doing all this instead of the original roadmap. I thought most of this was the original roadmap though, because leaderboards was. Obviously some amount of quality of life was. Combat rework definitely wasn't. And obviously these two weren't. Though this technically helps speed up the rate at which content comes out, whereas this is something that drastically slows it down, point number 4. Next, you're planning on getting back on early access roadmap? Nice. All right. Wish we could get a public roadmap, though. It's something we still don't have publicly. They mentioned they have an internal roadmap, but they've never actually shared publicly what that roadmap is overall. But anyways, honestly, I feel like he's still doing a good job. Content at this point is a little bit slower than expected, but, you know, we could wait. It's obviously a passion project of his, so he's kind of just been working on it on the side, even though this is his main project, I think, right now overall. But anyways, Long story short, as far as what we're doing today, I noticed some of my levels were getting really close to, you know, like the next thing. So I figured, why not go for 10 levels today? Last I checked, I believe we almost gained a rank for doing this. We're almost finally past Umbi. He's pretty much been doing bare minimum dailies lately. And in all fairness, a lot of days, so have I. However, I've been doing slightly more than that. So we finally caught up to him, as we will gain 11 levels today, 10 of which will be on stream today. And then the other one will be off stream when we take our venture in about 11 hours from now. I actually took a little bit late last night. Took a little bit of a nap, and then when I woke up, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go do my oyster venture. But yeah, we've been still poking at that, still been poking at all dailies. But yeah, goal for today is to go get 10 levels. And since we're already in Mines of Matubin, I don't know, maybe we'll start with some Mines of Matubin here. Actually, I say that, never mind, that might be a lie. I might actually go straight to Hopeport, because we got a bunch of cooking contracts we got stacked up, so we should probably go clear those. Because one of those levels that we definitely got to go get is Merchant, and I might go do a Detective level, just kind of combine them together and do the little Detective Merchant. We have no clue how long this would take. Normally, if we were doing it on unleveled skills, this stream would take like 20 hours if we were to do that. However, a lot of the skills that we're going to be gaining levels in are pretty much already there, or within like an hour range. So getting 10 levels is probably only about 6 hours, I would say, today, give or take a little bit. Whereas if we had to do 10 levels on, you know, something like Forager, where it's all the way down at the bottom there, then it would take way longer. But we're already kind of halfway through the door, so it shouldn't be as bad as far as getting them all. Actually, alchemy we might be able to do without even doing any alchemy, which would be kind of funny. Because we're about to go do Chef, and I'll probably put the point on that. Actually, you know what? We'll just stall it. Let me just go get our 5%, and we'll put it into something in Mines of Matubin. Because I feel like it'd be much better value in Mines of Matubin with all the grinds we got to go do there. But anyways, let's go do all of our stews and everything. But hope all you guys been doing well. Oh yeah, there's something else that dropped yesterday. I ended up seeing the direct for it, or whatever you want to call it. They end up doing like a stream thingy for it. But RuneScape Dragonwilds actually got released yesterday. I haven't bothered trying to play it. I figured if we do try it for the first time, we'll probably save it for the 9-year anniversary of the channel, just so we have something else to play other than what we normally do for the 9-year anniversary, just to have a new game to go do, because it's always fun to do throughout the entire day. But yeah, I'll probably be saving that for next week's Wednesday. Oh no, I accidentally used the XP pod immediately. I hate when I do that. But yeah, RuneScape Dragonwilds, it's a new survival game. Survival is generally not a genre I've played too much, but Power World has definitely gotten me a little bit more into it compared to how I would have been in the past. Although, hello, by the way, Mark, Sani, Krydak, and everyone else lurking in the background. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But, I don't know, it's not really a genre I really try too much, but it seems like it has enough content where we could probably go and do it in one stream anyways. So, that's pretty much going to be the game plan. Is Dragonwild single player? Yes and no. It is single player, but it has co-op in the sense that you can play it online with, I believe, up to 4 people. I'm pretty sure I will be doing a single player run though when I do my server. It's one thing that I've always hated with survival games. I really hate the separated server thing. I wish there was just like one big mega server where you can, like, you know, your progress goes over and there's like some kind of world where you can group up with other people and everything like that. It's one thing that's always kind of kept me away from the survival genre, especially with something like Power World, which is one of the first games I really tried in the genre, at least in recent times. Because you make a bunch of progress on a server, and then, you know, if you want to go play with friends on a different server, you basically got to start from scratch every single time, which is something I'm not personally that big of a fan of. Because you basically have to run through the entirety of early game like 10, 20, 30 times. Which, you know, that could still be fun, but after like the 10th time, it's like, okay, can I just have a way to like expedite this all the way to the end? Because you tend to do it too often. Or every single time you want to do a different server with friends or something else like that, you basically got to start from scratch every single time. Hopefully they'll have some kind of solution to that later down the line, but I believe in the current state of the game they do not. Which obviously this early on in the game, given that we haven't played it even once yet, it's not too big a deal. But, you know, once you're going through like the 5th, 10th, 20th time, you know, it'd be nice to have a way to expedite that. Even just go all the way to like mid-game, end-game, or some kind of similar point. But yeah, I might be trying it next Wednesday. It's the 9-year anniversary of the channel. So yeah, we need some kind of game to go play that day. So it might be that as one of the ones we offset for. Also, where's the end button? There we go. I want to go use the potion because I accidentally used it early. Whoops, mistakes have been made. But hello, B. Welcome, welcome. So people first max all skills for hundreds of hours, then decide to do all skills again offline. Well, I don't think maxing is as big of a deal in that game compared to something like Brighter Shores or in RuneScape. Because you could probably play through most of the game with like mid-level stats, especially what currently exists. I'm pretty sure you could probably beat the current state of the game with like base 30s or base 50s or something. Like, you don't need much in the current state of the game. Where obviously something like MMOs like Brighter Shores, RuneScape, similar things, they're a lot more heavy on, you know, max everything before you can start playing the game kind of situation. Like most MMOs are. But survival games play a little bit differently than that. It's more or so about the overall experience of going through everything. Honestly, most survival games are best in early game where you can actually, you know, like die. Because you eventually get power crept so much in survival games where the survival aspects of the game are irrelevant. I know Power World was like that. Like, yeah, it has survival game aspects, but by the time you hit mid-game, and especially end-game, you could just invalidate every survival game aspect, and it's basically just an open-world Pokemon at that point, which is good. I do like Pokemon games. We'll be playing Pokemon ZA later this year when it comes out on the Switch too. But, oh no, it basically becomes not a survival game and just, you know, walk around and kill stuff simulator is what ends up happening with a lot of survival games in endgame, where it just becomes basically just, it almost invalidate every survival mechanic. Like, the survival game mechanics are almost hardest the second you start the game, pretty much. But as you get power corrupt with more and more unlocks, the survival aspects become less and less. I haven't actually seen a survival game that's really had a fix for that, where it kind of does it in the opposite order, where you start really strong but keep getting weaker and weaker. Because pretty much every survival game just starts you really weak, and then you get stronger and stronger to the point where every survival mechanic that they implemented becomes irrelevant almost. Which I'm pretty sure Dragonwilds is currently set up that way, unfortunately. Similar to many, many, many other games in the genre. Alright, let me go and clear this out, go get our leak thingy going. Yeah, originally when I saw it, I wasn't that big of a fan of it. I'm still kind of hesitant to trying it, but I don't know. I still want to give it a fair shot, I think. It's one of those things with RuneScape 3 as well, where I never actually tried it, even though I have a relatively negative opinion of it. I've never actually tried the game. So since Dragonwilds probably wouldn't take more than one stream, I might be trying it. It's a pretty expensive $30 to go try it just for one time, though. But, I don't know. It's one of those games where I feel like the current state of the game I wouldn't really bother playing beyond one stream. But it has potential later down the line to be good. But the problem is, are we really going to spend $30 just for the potential of it being good later down the line? Oh, no, I might. It would be a one day of fun, if nothing else. I'm just not sure if I would ever touch it after that day. Even the games like, I don't know, like Slay the Spire, or the other game they'll be trying later this year, Slay the Spire 2. Like, Slay the Spire 2, Slay the Spire 1, I got about 300 hours out of, as far as 100%ing it, every achievement, doing max difficulty Ascension 20 on every character. It took, I think, like 250 to 300 hours or so. And that game only takes like an hour or two to complete, but, you know, it has so much replayability. The problem with a lot of survival games is the replayability that it has, I generally don't like a lot of times. In the sense that, you just have to do it so often. Like 10, 20 times doing the first, you know, like 10, 20 hours of gameplay over and over again every time you do a new server. Whereas something like, you know, Slay the Spire, it's a roguelike, so it's set up to be based around doing multiple runs. Whereas I feel like a lot of survival games aren't really set up that way, even though in practice, that's what you ultimately end up doing with them. What even is this run right now? Because I think I have to do a double path. I have a really, really bad pathing right here. Oh yeah, did I double check? Did we have anything good on, did I really have nothing on the thing? Really? I was checking that earlier. I think I have absolutely nothing for contracts right now. Why? That's unfortunate. I guess I could do new tap for like 10 of them. That seems overkill though. I think skipping all cotton chips, it just doesn't seem worth it. Yeah, it does seem like a weird angle for them to do an offline game in, you know, a genre that is MMO. Because it is in, like, the RuneScape universe and everything, but it is drastically different than any RuneScape game that currently exists. It's one of the reasons why whenever I refer to it in the past, and even currently, I always just refer to it as Dragonwilds. I don't refer to it as RuneScape Dragonwilds. Because honestly, it's not RuneScape at all. It's basically just a survival game with, like, a RuneScape mod over top of it. That just happens to have some characters that are RuneScape, like, in it. Alright, let's go Southfall and just telly back. Actually, I might just walk out. It's gonna be a bit of a walk, though. Oh, we're almost at 30 gold. I'll be saving that for a sickle upgrade. That's one of the other grinds I need to go do whenever I feel like actually grinding a lot for this game. I really need to go get Gatherer up. Really, really need to get Gatherer higher than it currently is right now. But yeah, as far as the levels that we'll be going for today, I'm not sure every single one, but the ones we're likely going for is Combat, Chef, Alchemy, Carpentry, so that's 4. Everything in this chapter, so that's 8. Obviously Merchant, and then one other one, which is probably going to be Detective. Detective should be pretty chill. But that's probably going to be our game plan then. Combat, Chef, Alchemy, Carpenter, every single level in Mines of Batubin, merchant, and then one other, with that one other likely being detective. Go for 500s? I wish. You know how long a 500 grind takes in this game? It's still something I've never done in old school RuneScape either. We've still been doing that on the side. Actually, a little bit more so recently. I only done one stream for it recently, but if we bring that up, let's see. Oh wait, that's really big. If we bring that up real quick, we are still at 86 million, 86.5 million. It caps out at 200 mil, so we're pretty much halfway there. And I still have not gotten woodcutting pet. Still haven't gotten it. Someday we will get that thing. But I have actually never gotten a 200 mil, aka truly max level in RuneScape ever in the history of the 20-something years. But at this rate, my hardcore is about to get woodcutting. Not because I'm necessarily trying to, but because it refuses to give me the drop. Because I'm so dry on it. Luckily, there's a pity system if we somehow hit 200 mil and still don't have it. But still, I would sure hope we have it by then, gosh. But yeah, for the same reason, I've never gotten a level 500 in British Wars. For the same reason, I've never gotten a 200 mil in old school RuneScape, or any RuneScape. And it's mostly because it's just not really needed. Like, yeah, you get a bunch of resources for it, you get a bunch of money, you get a bunch of other progress along the way. But they mentioned in the past, for Brighter Shores, that basically 200 is max level, effectively. Like, when they scale a lot of content, there might be some benefit to having over 200. But they mentioned they're probably never going to do a quest above 200 requirement. Like, you know, probably like 100 something at best. And they mentioned that most content will be scaled around, you know, not expecting people to have above 200. Like, you'll probably still get a small benefit for having it, but it's likely a benefit that has diminishing return post 200. Like, let's say, for example, there's some kind of benefit to, I don't know, wood cutting, where you probably get 100% benefit. Like, let's say you start at 0%. You probably get up to, like, 100% benefit when you get to, like, 200. But then if you go all the way to 500, you probably get, like, 150% benefit, where the extra 300 levels is only, like, 50% extra. So that's likely how they're going to be scaling it based on what they've said so far. Of course, knowing them, they could change anything at any point, like they have been. However, I would assume it would be something along those lines where, you know, you'd gain most of the benefit by 200, but you'd still gain some benefit post 200. It would just have great diminishing return compared to everything up to 200. Where 0 to 200 would gain you far more benefit than 200 to 500. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we don't have the first raid, the first boss, the first anything, so we'll have to wait to see how everything ends up ultimately scaling. Also, am I doing Chef right now? What is this? I guess we'll come back and go do it. I guess I could go for the alchemy level right now, but honestly, I kind of want to go put this into knowledge. So I guess I'll do one more thing of stews real quick, and then we'll go head over to some of the other levels we need to go do. Because these are better to do off of contracts, but just off of contracts alone, we can go get to 227, so we don't need to worry about it too much overall. So probably ignore it mostly. Beyond that, I guess we're heading to the mines next. Unless we want to go claim our quick carpentry level. Might do that, because while I'm there, I need to go do a combat level anyways off of snakes. But yeah, when it comes to striping system that we were mentioning earlier, with the whole drama post that was posted earlier, which he has since deleted, of course. But as far as combat, I don't know, I personally feel like they did not need to do the combat merge. I did originally think before the game came out that it would have one overarching combat system. However, the fact that they got rid of the individual combat in each zone is the main thing I don't like. Like, if I wanted to kill things in Chronopolis right now, I'd be getting so little EXP, because I'm currently scaled, particularly Mines of Matubin. Like, if I wanted to kill something in Mines of Matubin, let's say I needed the drop from the Wraith, because I want to go make 10% potions for my potions. Like, let's say I'm at the Hive and Alchemy level, I want to go make 10% or even 8%, and I want to go kill, like, the Wraith and the Slime thingy in order to go get them. I'd be killing at level 686 at level 880. You know how little EXP we'd be getting for combat if I was to go do that? It is so absurdly bad, the EXP rate I would be getting. Whereas before, with the previous system, if I wanted to go do that, it wouldn't have been that big a deal, because we would have been a lot closer to combat. It might still have been a bit lower, and I might have still been getting worse EXP rate, but it would not be nowhere near how much bad it would be right now. Whereas right now, if I want to kill anything pretty much outside of Chapter 2, I can't, because my EXP rate would be way too low. Pretty much the only things I can kill right now, there's only 3 enemies that I would be able to get full EXP for right now. The Viper, the Strigan, and the Wendigo. In the current state of the game, we do not have enough power to be killing the 2 that are above us right now. I could barely even kill the Viper right now with our current gear. So that's a problem, because my basically there's only 2 enemies I could even kill right now if I wanted to. Outlaw if we were really undergeared, or Viper, which is what we're actually going to be killing. And that's it. There are only 2. Whereas before, there was about 3 in every chapter that you'd be able to kill. So before, there would have been 12 things you could have killed, potentially 15 by the time Stonewall Hill came out, plus 3 for every single chapter. But now, even like later down the line, in like a year from now, if we have like 6 chapters by then, there's still only 3 things I could kill in this current system. This isn't not counting bosses or raids or anything, which I guess is how they're planning on a lot of the XP to be gained. But if we were to train it through non-boss, non-raid methods, we would only have 3 things to fight. The thing at our current level and the 2 things higher if we have enough power creep with special attacks and skill tree and everything else, and just 4-star gear, 5-star gear, enchantments, everything else like that in the future. But that's it. We'd have like 3 enemies that we could kill at any given time for full XP rate. And that would be the full list of what we would have. Whereas before, you had that like per chapter. Not just like in total, but per chapter, you had 3 that you could kill. Now it's like 3 total, just period, as far as what you could kill, which is not ideal. They're cooked. Oh no, they've definitely been making a lot of questionable decisions. They said that they're going to be taking a lot less community feedback soon, though. That was one of the main things that came out of that, is they're going to start kind of just doing what they want to go do and stop taking community feedback, which to some degree I feel like is a good thing, some degree a bad thing. Because I personally feel like they never should have done the combat merge. But also, there was some community feedback that, you know, has been pretty good, that has definitely helped the game. But they definitely shouldn't listen to, like, every post that ever gets posted on, like, Reddit or something. They definitely shouldn't be doing that. But, I don't know, taking no community feedback would definitely also be a bad thing. Actually, I think, what's his name? The community manager actually mentioned that recently. Like, they were joking negatively about the polling system in Old School RuneScape. Which is actually kind of funny, because you know what happened in Old School RuneScape today? They ended up doing an update last week, and it was like a small farming change that changed where some of the leprechauns were and a few other things like that. But it was a small farming change that they implementing, and it actually ended up getting rolled back because someone found a poll in the past where it failed the poll, and they were like, hey, this failed the poll. Why did you just randomly add it to the game? And now they retroactively unadded it because it failed a poll based on the community at one point, yet they tried to sneak it in just an update. So I find that kind of funny, because that might be taking a little bit too much community feedback. Where all they did was like a small little change to farming that originally didn't pass a poll. But because someone brought that up, it's like, okay, well, we'll undo it next week then. That's almost too much in the other direction. So I get what they kind of mean by that. And that the polling system doesn't really help that much. I do find it really funny, though, because they both happened pretty much on the exact same day. Actually, I think that post that I just posted from them was the other day, though, like yesterday. But the thing I'm talking about today in RuneScape literally happened today. As far as the actual change, or, you know, reverting it back. Alright, let's go get our carpentry level real quick, and then we'll go do combat. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Oh, I need to go do a Mines of Matubin next after his carpentry level. I was originally going to kill the snakes, but I just realized I can't do that. And the reason why I can't do that is because I need to throw all my knowledge into Mines of Matubin. All the knowledge that we get today will be thrown into Mines of Matubin. There's a very good chance I'm not actually doing any Bone Right or Stonemason. Well, for one, I can't even do Stonemason. I have nothing banked. I do for Bone Right, but it's really slow XP rate. But I'm probably just going to knowledge both of them when we go and do it, because our rates are so bad for it. So we'll do this inventory right here, and then we'll have to go to Mines of Matubin and go do some like mining or smithing. Probably smithing. That's the next one that's really close. Plus we'll barely have to do anything anyways. Like one inventory will probably get us there, both for knowledge and for our level. So we'll start clearing out a bunch of levels then. We'll go for Stonemason first, because this is one I really need up. We'll still get Bone Right though. Bone Right should be pretty simple though. I think a double knowledge point gets it there. Worst comes to worst, we can train it though. Our XP method I think is only like 8k per 30 seconds. Which is not a lot, because I'm still making like this thing at like 166, this thing right here, quarterstaff. I'm making the 168 spear and 174 as our main training method if I was to go train it right now. The main reason we need it up is, well, for one, for everything for Stonewall Hill, we'll need it for armor, which would be nice, but I need 258. 258 is really relevant because that's when we can start using the better material from Gatherer at 280 and can start doing tier 5 weapons. It's pretty much the golden age of being able to go train the skill. The true golden age would be whenever we can get to the final one at like 433 and whatever it is for Bone Right, whatever absurdly high level that is. It's like 380, I think. No, not 380. It is, what level is it? I know it's pretty high. Yeah, it's 425. That is decently high. Obviously, we're not going for that anytime soon, but the lower range one we should be able to get pretty easily. As 258 is not that bad. It's pretty much my end goal for Bone right now. At least until Chapter 5 comes out, and might change that. Because there are a few things in Chapter 5 from Delver that we're going to have to process with the Bone Right skill. So if we need that for tier 5 armor, I might have to go deeper. But as it currently stands, we only really need 258 Bone Right. My alt account will be getting 500 at some point. I think it's currently at 170, both my two alts right now. The one that is doing Stonemason, though, is so dirt poor. It keeps eating through all of its stack. It's currently doing this right now. It's doing the passive for, where is it? It's doing the marble vases right now at 165. And it is at like 167 right now with like 0 gold. I think it has like 8 hours left to go do this. I'm not sure what to do for gold for it because since all of its levels are so low, I can never make enough money to keep up with what we need. So that's been a reoccurring issue that if trading was ever to come out would be fixed. Also, that still reminds me, how have we not gotten trading yet? That's one of the few things that I feel like should have been a little bit earlier. That and special attacks would have been cool. But yeah, we're almost like 6 months in, like 5.5. And we still don't have trading. Honestly, I would be fine if trading never came to this game. However, the fact that it's planned to come in this game and still planned to come into this game and that it hasn't been added, even though it was originally going to be a day one, you know, kind of piece of content that got delayed. I'm actually really surprised out of any content update that that one is the one that hasn't been implemented yet. Because that changes a lot of things as far as how you'd play if you would end up enabling it. Obviously, if you keep it disabled, it won't change anything at all. However, if you do end up enabling it, you're playing a completely different game by the time that thing ends up coming out. And a lot of the systems in the game seem to be, you know, centered around that, as far as how the crafting system and everything works, particularly when it comes to weapon upgrading. Like, the entirety of the weapon upgrading system is set up in a way where you would only really get 500 in whatever your class is. So for a Cryo Knight, for example, that would end up being... Oh yeah, we're exactly clean 4,300, by the way. Looks so clean, look at that. But, where is I going with this? But, you know, like a Cryo Knight would go all in on smithing, a Hammer Mage would go all in on stonemason, so on and so forth. So if trading was enabled, you would only ever have to do that for one skill. Like, you would only have to go all in on one and just trade for the other two if you really wanted to. But of course, without trading, you pretty much have to go even on all of them. You might go a little bit higher on the one. Actually, it's kind of funny. We actually are even on all of them. 228, 228, and then the only outlier is the one that actually matters a lot for our class. But it's a system that, you know, you would go about a lot differently if trading was out since day one, compared to now, where you could go all in on one in preparation for trading, but in the current state of the game, you kind of do need all three. And even in the future, you might need all three to some degree as well. Like Delver and Armor Maker from next chapter will be going into Bone Rate a decent amount. If you want to go and have all your options for crafting in Armor Maker, you will need the Bone Rate skill. Similar to if you want to go do 4-star armor. Though I'm pretty sure 3-star armor, at least in the current state of the game, until we get bosses, raids, and everything, is probably exceedingly overkill. Though if you are ever going to be doing raiding in the future, like when group raiding comes out, I'm pretty sure 4-star equipment will be required. People will pretty much just like laugh at you if you come in with like full 3-star or even less than that. Whereas, yeah, 4-star would probably be the standard for stuff like that until people start getting their 5-star drops, assuming that's when 5-star drops eventually come into the game. But it is probably the first piece of content where it will actually be required, as you're pretty much just hindering the team if you don't end up having it. But everything prior to that, I don't really see any reason to. If they had a bunch of solo bosses, 3-star equipment is probably going to be fine. For anything in the current state of the game, honestly, 2-star equipment is pretty much fine. And that's even without skill tree or special attacks. And 2-star is already still fine. There we go, our first level! Nice! We got one. 1 out of 10 completed. I'm still going to finish this inventory, obviously, though. But yeah, let's go ahead to Mine to Batubin. Let's go start cashing this in. I'll probably do smithing next and pretty much gain another level pretty much immediately. And yeah, start getting them down. Let's start getting some levels. And technically today we'll be tied with Unbi, which, yeah, he was one of the OG really hard grinders in the game. Like similar to Patricio and, you know, the other people who are really high. But he's been pretty much doing what we've been doing, but slightly less. Like he's basically just been doing bare minimum dailies. But I've been doing bare minimum dailies for all 3 accounts and still grinding a little bit on the main. So yeah, we actually get to pass him today, or at least tie him. Because we're gaining 10 levels on stream, which brings us to 4,310. And then off stream, obviously when we take the Oyster, that will get us another level. So we'll be tied with him today. So that means technically by the next time we stream, unless he power grinds like crazy out of nowhere, we should be 15 franc above Unbi. Not like it matters too much. But, you know, we're just trying to get all of our levels up, trying to get everything up evenly. Oh yeah, we finally got 2 10s. Actually, we did that the other stream, a couple streams ago. But honestly, we're getting really close to our goal of 250 all. I say close with parentheses. We're nowhere near close, but close, quote unquote. But, you know, we're getting there. We're almost at more skills that are 250 plus than not 250 plus, if you look at it that way. It depends how you look at combat, though, because technically to have 250 all combat in the current state of the game, that would be level 1000. And I kind of don't want to grind that until they end up adding, what do you call it? Until they end up adding, what do you even call it? I forget the name. But, I forgot my entire train of thought right now. Oh yeah, until they add the skill tree and special attacks. Because I'm not training anything on my combat for the most part, other than the little bit of combat we're doing today and here and there. But as far as like power grinding combat, I'm not doing that until we have the rest of features related to combat. It's the main thing that we're holding out for there. So we kind of have to wait for special attacks to go through, you know, all the kind of core mechanics that still are not in the game that will be implemented at some point soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll find out. Alright, oh, what am I looking for? Also, I can't wait till we get a equipable potion. It's one of the other reasons why I was waiting a little while, because every single week last month, it was like, oh, are we getting the update? Are we getting the update? Are we getting the update? And we still haven't gotten that update. Because I'm still really hoping that the next quest for Hopeport is equipable potion. It's probably one of the two. Either the 4-star quest or the 6-star quest is very likely to finally be equipable potions. How exactly it'll work and everything, we don't know. However, whatever it is better than the current system. It hasn't been 100% confirmed that that is the reward, but we do know that they were going to add it as a quest reward in the past, and we do know there's a bunch of quests coming, and obviously if you're going to add something like that, it's probably coming from Hopeport, since it's, you know, a chapter 1, you know, potion thing, so it'd probably have a potion requirement. So very likely that is one of the two Hopeport quests, either the 4-star or the 6-star. What am I putting this into? Probably Stonemason for now. I probably will need to put some of it into Bonerite later, but Stonemason is the more important one by far. This is the one that is far more bottlenecked right now, as even though my XP rate is bad for Bonerite right now, at least I have it banked. Whereas Stonemason, I've literally 0 banked. If I want to go train Stonemason, I have to buy it all from the shop. I'd have to go over there, buy a bunch of basalt, go and etch them all, go and make them into equipment, and repeat over and over again. So it'd start burning through our stack quite a bit. And I do want to save some of my stack because we are going to be needing that for some more tool upgrades. There are still tool upgrades we need. Not that many, but there are still a few that I do want to go get. For Forager, we need 2 of them before we can really get back to it. The Pond Net being the most notable one, once we end up hitting for 246, I believe it is. You end up needing that. No, maybe a little bit earlier than that, because the Pond thingy is at 242. When do you need it? Yeah, 246, that's weird. You get the Pond Net before you need the activity. That's really funny. I never noticed that. You get the 5% for that before you actually need to do the activity. I wonder if they ended up changing the number at some point before early access started. Because that seems really weird. Normally when you get them slightly after, not before. Yeah, that's actually 4 levels before you actually need it. That's kind of weird. But, yeah, we still need those 2. I still need the sickle, which is probably my next upgrade. Getting a 25 sickle. We need this by level 248. And that's around the corner if I ever go do Gather again. I haven't really trained Gather since then. But we're going to do Clover all the way to 248 and then do this all the way until, honestly, probably Bone Spike, or at least the Tank Fruit, so that we can start doing wood cutting again. Because I need those Tank Fruit to be better before I can really properly do wood cutting. Alright, what is this going into? We're putting this into Stonemason. Alright, there we go. 2 more of those, and that should get Stonemason up. Hopefully this inventory actually gives us a smithing level, does it? I think we need 1 more inventory. I do that with a 5% pots, and that'll be level number 2! We're getting there. 2 out of 10. Some of them will come pretty quick because some of them were already set up to go pretty quick. I just didn't want this stream to be too long. Because if we were to do it from completely unleveled skills, that'd be like a 15-hour stream or something. But today will still be a bit longer than normal. Let's go get all this mess. And it should be our level within the next 2 dunks or so. 2 or 3, I forget how much we're getting. I think we're getting like 21k each, so yeah, 2 more dunks and we should be good to go. Also finish whatever's in our inventory though. And then we'll move on to our next objective. Which, given that we already have a mining potion, might end up just being mining, or miner. Miner will take a while though. I think the skills we do, I think that'll be the second most time consuming one we need to get a level on. But might as well get one of the hard ones out of the way now. Plus we can get potion synergy into one of the other ones we need to get done, like Stonemason or Bonerite. But all the knowledge from all of them will be going into Chapter 3 regardless of how we do it. Though I have been putting a lot of my my knowledge from Chapter 1 while doing Chef, like when doing AFK stews, or you know, active AFK. I've been putting it all into Alchemy. I still have like 3 hours of Alchemy to go do too that I have banked. Not today, but at some point. Got like 3 hours of 238 Fear Potions left in the bank. And that's every single one that we had banked from combat earlier. Because those were still from combat. Even though you get it from different combat now, those were still from the combat grind when we ended up doing that a while back. Mostly the tentacles. Like when we were doing that on Valentine's Day and a few other days around there. That was around the time that we were getting a lot of the Fear Potion supplies that we needed. Oh, I didn't bother updating the number. Alright, we're 2 out of 10. Let's keep going. We're getting there. 8 more to go. Alright, this next one's gonna be a little bit more of a time-consuming one. Let's go do mining. To the mines. Oh, we're technically already here. To a different part of the mines. We must go deeper. Also, I wish we could get to the point where we can start doing the mining daily again. If they ever had more venture slots from quests, it's definitely something that we're going to prioritize. Like trying to get to 380 mining. It's something I honestly should be prioritizing a little bit more beforehand. It's just that grind is going to take so long. To go from where we currently are all the way to 380, I think it's like 150 to 200-ish hours. Depending on if we throw knowledge or do any amount of AFK on it or not. Which I probably would here and there. But it's a lot of time. However, once we get there, we get the best mining EXP venture in the entire game. And if we're going to have a third venture slot, that sounds like something perfect to go put on it. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But it does feel like a nice target if we do want to go on a mega grind at some point soon. Getting 380 mining so that we can get the best mining venture in the game. Start giving us EXP here and there. Especially if we end up getting a third venture slot down the line from a new quest. Which hasn't been confirmed, but I am very doubtful that one of the new quests wouldn't end up adding something like that. Like, I feel like one of them would. Maybe even a new venture too, but at least a new venture slot. Because of course we're eventually going to have 6. So them adding at least +1 from a quest seems decently likely from one of the many quests that they currently have in the works. Not confirmed, similar to the potion storage or equipable potion thing, but you know. It's in the category of very likely reward, but not confirmed to be reward category. Where super likely it would happen, but no confirmation in one way or another that it definitively is. I've been doing a combination of granite into flatniums. Also, I've been doing the slightly AFK method here too, so we can get hydration. But yeah, just do this and then boom, it just AFKs itself. Good old hydration. I didn't bother getting a water though. I got a liquid death, but I did not get any water. I got the iced tea one. Which does have a little bit of caffeine in it. It's like the only caffeine I get these days. I've been trying to stay away from caffeine, but if I'm ever doing something that takes like a longer amount of time, like if we're ever doing like a longer stream like today and stuff like that, it's like, you know what, might as well. Just a little bit of caffeine. Luckily the amount in it's like really low. And then we cycle back and then bank everything. One nice thing about the cycle is even though it's not a full inventory, it makes it so you never need a drop juggle. Because I'm done with drop juggling. I'm just waiting to equip a potion. I refuse to ever drop juggle again. Ever since we despawned a stack of potions the 3rd time, it's like, nope, never again. I don't care if it's slightly less efficient. We're not drop juggling again. Just too annoying. I just need to add the quest that finally adds it already. Hopefully in the next month or 2. Because I would definitely start skilling a lot more when they make that update. I really hope it's sooner rather than later. The update that finally adds equipable potions. Because I would definitely start playing a lot more just out of the convenience of how much that makes skilling better. There's also one of the things I want before we go heavy on the merchant grind. Is able to have basically a flat 5% boost to merchant while not needing to worry about a inventory being dead is very good for the skill. It's already really quick EXP and everything. So to be able to go 5% better is amazing. Yeah, that's pretty much just the cycle. 6 granite into 8 flatnium into 6 granite into bank into repeat. Oh, and don't go there. The double tile waste. No! We're so inefficient. The misclick. That's pretty much been the cycle I've been doing for mining. Mostly because I still need the ore more than I need the rocks. It's better EXP rate to just camp the granite. But I still want the blue ore. And this is the biggest compromise, or the best compromise we could do. I could technically go for 2 more flatniums, but they're a little bit far out of the way. I didn't actually bother calculating it down to the T, but from guesstimation, it seemed like it wasn't worth going for. From guesstimating out the approximate value of grabbing the other 2 veins. So we've just been doing 6, 8, 6. Bank and repeat indefinitely. It just has a nice little bit of AFK time. I think it's like 30-second AFK because of how long the walk is. Which is not like the most AFK thing in the game, but you know, it's better than nothing. You just make sure you save 1 vein and then he goes all the way back for it. Which resets you pretty much where you need to be. The main thing that matters about this is it allows you to 1-click all the way over if you want to. It allows you to one-click to your mining spot. It allows you to one-click to the bank if you want to transition activity. You can one-click all the way over there. You can one-click to your rocks that you need. Whatever one you want to go for. Which is pretty convenient. There's one of the things that iron has going for it that's really nice. You can mine all of it and still one-click to a bank at any point when you're doing iron. Which makes it by far the most AFK mining method in the game. There's one problem with trying to AFK granite is it's in so many different rooms that you can't really do it. Because it has a double room divide and you can't click through the rooms to go and queue up in action. So one nice thing about the new respawn system, there's a lot of things that you could do with it. And one thing that's really nice about this cycle is because the first one is in this room, but you take it all the way over there, it makes it so that by the time I finish drinking this potion, this will be respawned. Just like that. There's one really nice thing about this cycle with the new respawn system they added a few months ago. Back in like mid-January. Honestly, I feel like the respawn system has been more useful than the queuable action. Even though queuable action has been amazing. It's almost more so the respawn system that they changed at the exact same time that was the better update. And I feel like potion storage is going to be the same thing. If they add auto reuse on potions at the same time that they add equipable potions, honestly, auto reuse of potion is probably more useful than equipable potion. Even though equipable potion is really good, auto reuse, if they add it at the same time, hypothetically, if they do, would honestly be better. So I'm curious if it's going to be the same thing again when they end up doing that. Because that's what happened with queuable action. Because even though queuable action was great, it was the update that they did alongside it that was actually better. And honestly, equipable potion would be the same way. Like, equipable potion is so needed. But auto repotting might honestly be stronger than equipable potions. Even though equipable potions is really strong, same as how queuable action is really strong. But it's more so the side update that they do with the update that might actually be the more potent one ultimately by the end. It would make you waste more potions than you otherwise would. But if you could drink it with no delay, you are ultimately saving time. Whereas queuable action doesn't really save time, it just is convenient. There's not a single situation where queuable action is more EXP than not queuable action. Whereas the new respawn system is more EXP than previous system. But queuable action doesn't ever give you more XP. Whereas both auto repotting and equipable potion are both more EXP. If they were to be implemented at the same time. Queuable action in theory is more XP though. Because if you're playing somewhat AFK, and it does actions for you that you otherwise would not have done, then technically, you're getting more EXP than you would have. But if you're actively playing, there's not a single situation where queuable action gets you more EXP. Whereas the new respawn system does, equipable potion does, and auto repot does. Whereas queuable action only really helps if you're playing slightly less actively. But otherwise gives you the same XP rate. But out of every skill we need to go for, this is the second slowest one we need to do, so I figured we'd get it out of the way now. The slowest is figuring out what we want to do for our 10th. I was thinking of doing Detective and just doing Detective Merchant, since we have to do Merchant anyways. Which is probably going to be the longest one. Not the Merchant part of it, but the Detective part of it. Because I think it's like an hour and a half of doing Detective Merchant. Maybe even 2 hours if we do a little heavier on the Merchant, we'll see. We don't need that much XP though, so we can focus a little more on Detective. That'll probably be the last thing we go for, though. As it'll definitely be the longest grind we gotta do this entire stream. Whereas this is the second longest one, but then everything else, it should be pretty quick. Like, Alchemy is literally one set of 11 potions, or 22. Chef we can get up literally just with bounties over the course of the stream. Carpenter we already did. Combat will take, like, no time at all. Smithing took no time at all. Honestly, Stonemason and Bonewright we might technically not even do and just throw knowledge into them. If we do one, it'll probably be Bonewright rather than Stonemason. Just because I already have it banked, whereas Stonemason I have nothing banked currently. Or I shouldn't say that. I have nothing banked at my current level. I do have stuff banked, I just can't use it. Like this granite we have banked, I just can't use it because we need 267. I also have Adistil, or whatever it's called, that purple ore, or stone, banked, but we can't use it till 233. Which is the main thing that's been locking us out of stonemason for so long. Is I basically can't do stonemason properly again, based on banked resources, until 233. And even then, I don't have a lot of XP. I only have some banked. Which, when's the next AFK activity after that? Yeah, 240. So I only need to go from 233 to 240 with what I have banked. Hopefully I have enough. If not, we'll just dump some knowledge into it. It's not that big a deal. I'm just not sure what we do once we hit 253. Because at that point, that's not high enough to use this granite. It is still 4 levels off. Or sorry, 14 levels off. So I'm not sure what we do at that point. Is I'd either have to do an AFK that burns a lot of money, or I would have to go and keep doing the other ore that isn't worth us mining anymore. Both of which are bad. Honestly, I'd probably just throw either a ton of knowledge at it, or yeah, just bite the bullet and just burn some money while doing the activity. Just make sure we're always 5% potted. Luckily, we bought a lot of those 5% pots before they got price hiked. I got about 1,000 of them. I think I have like 600 left. They're not going to last me nearly as long as I thought, because the original math I did on how many I needed assumed I would perpetually keep training these skills. But obviously we haven't been as actively playing, so we haven't been, so we're definitely going to run out of 5% pots before we ever hit max on all. The grace period of that is if we ever get high enough alchemy, we do get some more XP pots soon. At 267, actually, we start getting them. So from 267 to 277, I would get a bunch more pots. How many that is, I do not know, and it's definitely not enough. At most, that's like, what, 5-10 hours of pots, maybe? I think it's like 10 hours of Ave King in the Mines of Bitumen. Or sorry, not 10 hours, I mean 10 days. It's like 10 days worth of AFK in Mines of Bitumen. Which, you know, that's not awful, but that's not amazing either. 10 hours worth of AFK there. I mean, 10 days worth. Like, it adds up. It's almost like 100 hours worth, but, you know, you go through that pretty quickly. And the reason I only want to go to 277 is that's when we get our next good potion. Unfortunately, 258 we can't do. I'm not getting 340 Forager just to go do this. It's not worth it. I'd rather get 240 Gatherer. It's way stronger than Forager. Honestly, Forager seems really bad. Aside from knowledge rate, the actual supplies you get from Forager seem so horrifically bad. They only make the plus 70 combat potions, which maybe when bossing and raiding comes out, they'll be used a bit more often. But I don't know, if you have an option between a plus 80 and a plus 70, honestly, I'd rather just take the plus 80. Like, yeah, you can make choices made in the 70s per hour. But, oh no, the 10 extra bonus might actually matter. Like, I'm pretty sure when you go raiding, people wouldn't care if you're using, like, a plus 70 or a plus 80, though you probably would want to be using one or the other. But, you know, if you had the option, you'd probably want to go with the plus 80. If you had to choose between one or the other. Even though you only make half as many per hour. I don't know, how many were you really consume in a raid? Because let's say you have to kill 20 enemies, that's 20 of them that you would end up consuming. Like, in normal combat, you chug through them like nothing. But in a raid, I would assume most battles would take a longer duration, in which case those potions would be a lot better to end up utilizing. Because if every enemy's taking you like 3 minutes to kill, then, you know, at most you're using like 30 an hour. And you can make 110 of them per hour. Even the higher tier ones. And about 220 of the other one per hour. I've still really been enjoying my time with Brighter Shores. It's still one of those really chill, relaxing games I still come back to every day. Even though my playtime of it has gone a little bit less, my enjoyment of actually playing it has still been about the same. The main thing that's been keeping me from really, like, power grinding is mostly they're in a weird in-between where they're, like, trying to add content but not adding content. And combat's currently in a weird in-between where they try changing some things but didn't fully change everything. So it just feels like in a really weird in-between state right now. Which I guess makes sense for a beta. But it is in a super in-between state right now. Where it's still trying to find its identity and set up the rest of the core mechanics in the game. That currently does not have those core mechanics yet. Let's get in there. It's also one of the reasons why we've been focusing so much on skilling. But also why I've been kind of waiting for a equipable potion. It's why I've been slowing down a lot this last month, because the other month it seemed like, oh yeah, any day now, any week now, we're going to finally get the equipable potion. Or at least a quest, if nothing else, even if it didn't have a equipable potion. And still we have not gotten it. Because that's one of the quality of lives I've been wanting for skilling for so long. And once we finally get it, it's just going to make all skilling just so much more chill than it already is. Not need to worry about a potion taking up your inventory, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, or having to juggle them, or any other weird mechanic like that. The convenience factor is going to be so high. And that affects everything in the game, even combat. Like, there isn't a single thing that would not affect positively. Why is the dog going off? I think it was someone at the door. Gosh, I think barks for literally no reason sometimes. Only a 4 level to go, which basically means 1 level. He's always like looking at any level push 200 as a 4th of a level. This makes it a lot easier to manage. It's like right now we only need a 4th of a level for bone rate, which is like 1 level, 1 level, 1 level. Or something like detectives like 3.5 levels away. Because that's basically how it's set up pre-200. Like post 200 comparatively, every 1/4 of a bar is 1 level pre-200, effectively. So everything post 200 is like 4 levels. That's why the AFK activities are so strong, because they're still just as effective. They are getting basically 4 times the XP rate. I really need to get my alt accounts there already. They're both around like 170-ish for the crafting skill. They are so close. They're less than a month away. By mid-May, they will both be at the point where they can do a post 200. The only problem with that is that means to maintain their knowledge points, I'm going to have to play them 4 times as much as I already do. Which is not ideal. That's the only really big downside I can see about it. Is I got to play my 2 alts 4 times more than I currently play them now. Once they hit that point. Which could get a little bit annoying. Luckily you can double stack knowledge. So technically, worst case scenario, you would only have to do 2. But you still have to grind out 4 every single time. But 2 of them you could preemptively do, and then just have to do 2 in a pinch when you get closer. Which is kind of the same as only having to do 1, so I guess it's not that bad. You just have to preemptively always make sure you have a double stack ready on them before they ever reach their new activity. Hey, what did we dump this knowledge on, do? Because I don't have a 7% pot on me. Normally I would. I guess I'm just putting on the stonemason without a 7%. It's not that big a deal. The amount of time it would take to go get the 7% pot is not worth the extra 4% we'd be getting. Or, you know, 2% twice. And by the time we get there, it's just not worth the time. Oh, this is still our most upgraded tool, by the way, too. Oh, I forgot, I can't show. Oh, yeah, I can. I can show it without it going. Yeah, 35 is our current tool right now. Which is... that I will get destroyed if I go do this. Let's see. It is 32% bonus. Gosh. That's one thing that is going to be nice when we enable trading. Is going forward, whenever they do a new chapter, honestly, we might just go for level 50 old tools. Because there'll probably be enough money in the economy with all the people doing leatherworker and everything that we can sell enough stuff to be able to actually afford level 50 tools down the line. Which is going to make so much skill and go so much quicker in future chapters. I would definitely never go above that. I don't care how loaded we are. Unless they drastically change how the EXP system works for that, or add, you know, post 500 EXP or do something like that. I don't really plan on ever getting above a level 50 tool ever, under any circumstance. Honestly, even getting to 50 is kind of pushing it. Kind of just keeping it at level 40 instead or something. Or even like 35 like our pickaxe was. But now, if we ever have enough money, I would eventually 50 all tools in any skill that we don't have max. If there's enough money in the economy to bother doing so. And it is worth it with the current money rate that you make from leatherworker to do it that way. If you were level 490 merchant and 490 leatherworker, it is technically worth the extra XP that you would get all the way up to level 50 if you sold all the hides that you got along the way. Is that ultimately worth doing because you're getting 0 XP the entire time? Probably not. But compared to any other moneymaker in the game, it's kind of worth it. Though I am curious to see when trading comes out what the money-making rates of raids is going to be. Because in something like Old School RuneScape, I'm not sure what it is in like World of Warcraft or stuff like that. But Old School RuneScape, every best moneymaker is pretty much just do a raid. Or some kind of endgame PVM content. It's never skilling. Which is something I hope Brighter Shores can still keep, like actual viable, good moneymakers through skilling. But Old School RuneScape, every best moneymaker, like the entire top 10 is just raid, 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 endgame boss, raid, at a lower difficulty. Like every single thing's just a raid. Or super endgamey boss. Because I think the best moneymaker you can make right now in Brighter Shores is like 8 silver an hour, or sorry, 8 gold an hour. From doing 490 merchant, 490 leatherworker into leatherworker, with the discount off of merchant. Whereas comparatively in Old School RuneScape, the best moneymakers from endgame bosses and stuff is the equivalence of about 15 to 30 gold an hour. Which is about double, triple, even quadruple what you can currently do in Brighter Shores. So I'm curious to see where that will end up panning out in Brighter Shores itself. Because the first raid, at least for the first like month or few months, I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually like 10 gold an hour doing a raid. Especially if you can get like a good team together. And especially if you already have really good stats. Though what kind of stat requirements it would require, we have no clue. Because right now the baseline is leatherworker is about 8 gold an hour. So realistically, the raid would have to be at least probably 8 gold an hour. And this is going to make the drop table in a way where the uniques are like the only thing that matter, which honestly I hope they do. I really hope the drop table does not get filled with a bunch of random junk from skilling. I really hope that almost the entire drop table is just unique drops. And either just get like a piece of equipment that will be like dead content because, you know, it's just like a normal like 2 or 3 star thing. Or you get like actual material that's like the stuff that you're seeking. Like, you know, the actual stuff needed to make like 5-star gear and stuff like that. Or even just the outright giving you the 5-star gear. I really hope it's not flooded with just like general material. Like XP pots or, you know, granite tier 5. Stuff like that. I really hope stuff like that is not in the drop table at all. Or if it is like absurdly minimally in there. Like barely any. Like if you get a granite drop, it'll be like 2 tier 5 granites or something. For like an hour-long raid. Or half an hour-long raid. I just hope it doesn't get flooded with basic material. Because it's something Brighter Shore still does really nice right now. Crafted gear matters a ton. And is literally your best in slot at any given time. And gathering materials is very, 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 very useful. But I'm hoping they don't ruin that with raids or endgame bosses or anything they end up adding down the line. Make it so the uniques are the main reason you go there, not the supply drops. That's not to say to have literally 0 supplies, but it has to be very, very, very small amounts. Yeah, we're getting close to our double knowledge point. I guess we're putting on Stonemason. I meant to grab the 7% pot, but oh well. Let's put a double 5% on it. It's not too big a deal. Oh, our contracts are ready for the next hour, though. Oh, maybe we do go over there. Our cooking contracts are ready for the current hour that we're on. Because I forgot, we started at the half of the hour, so the contracts are already ready now. But then again, it has been an hour so far into stream, so regardless, they would be ready. Wow, it's already been a whole hour? Wow, time has gone by quick. British Horse time still, like, skyrockets by every single time. I wonder if it's been an hour. It feels like we just hit the start stream button. Yeah, we're almost done with mining, which is the second longest skill we got to do all stream. And everything from there should be pretty quick. And the longest thing we do have to do is probably my favorite activity in the game, doing Detective Merchant. Which, while it will be the longest, is probably the one I enjoy doing the most. Which would explain our detective level being the highest level we have. Though that's also because of AFK raid dens. I am really curious to see what the nerfed 344 raid den is like. We're going to be gaining almost no combat XP, but what I'm curious about is the detective XP per hour. Because obviously combat XP there has been butchered into the ground. But I'm curious to see if the detective XP is not abysmal. Because as long as it's better than 315 investigations, we're definitely doing it. We'd have the downside of getting no money, but the little bit of combat XP we're getting in return kind of makes up for it. Also, I wouldn't be doing it for too long. I'd only be doing it till 373. Or I would definitely switch to spotting thieves instead. And then baffling investigations. Then spotting thieves again. Then going back to crime raid dens for a little bit. Until we eventually get the fiendish investigations. And then the skill is basically maxed. I don't think I'm going that far with it, though. What's kind of funny is I might actually get it to only 490. And just have it tease the 500 bar. And then get 500 from catching thieves while doing 500 merchant. Without actually going all the way to 500 detective. I don't know, we'll see what our rank is, because I kind of want to make top 100 for it. Honestly, that's one other pivot I've been kind of considering. Though there's currently no way to go and check it at the moment. So I have no way of knowing for sure. But, I've really been considering getting top 500 in every single skill. And seeing if that can work. Oh, someone's sawing outside if you can hear that. I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, that was from, as you guys know, 2 months ago, we got the floor replaced. And my mom has been complaining for, like, months now. Like, pretty much since then, because some of the floorboards were not correct. I don't know, to me it seemed like they were fine. But, yeah, they finally came back today to start fixing it. Didn't realize that was today, otherwise I wouldn't have streamed today. That's fine. Shouldn't be that big of a noise. Maybe I might hear some saws here and there, it's fine, though. I'll try muting the mic probably when it goes. Just trying not to say anything too relevant. Just trying to fill the empty ear. There's a lot of wide skilling today. There's a lot of chill, wide skilling, get a level, move to the next one. But overall, new wooden floor is so nice compared to carpet. I haven't lived in a wooden house for like a decade, and now that it's wooden again for the last 2 months, it's definitely way better than carpet. Because at this point, the entire house is either wood or tiles. Tile mostly just being in the bathroom and kitchen. Though that is something that does need to be replaced, though. Gosh, that bathroom needs like a complete renovation. If there ever was to be one. Like, that bathroom looks like it's still from like the 1950s or whatever this house was made. A lot of the tiles in there like completely broken. It's pretty low on the priority list of things to get done. But probably should at some point. It looks like it hasn't been touched since the day the house was built. This house is decently old. Not like an ancient, but definitely not new. I just realized I'm going to over-encumber my knowledge bar here. That's fine, though. And I'm just so hesitant to ever doing house renovations, though, because they're so pricey. Especially if the tariffs come in. Whatever on earth's going on with that. Because the price of a lot of that stuff and just stuff in general going to be going up a lot. I still don't understand what's going on with that. And I've actually been following the news and everything with it too, and I still cannot comprehend what's trying to happen with that right now. Luckily, there's not too many major purchases I need to make this year. As far as the only other big one I really plan to, it's probably to Switch 2. So we'll see what the Japanese tariff is by then. Otherwise, I'm going to have to spend $1,000 for a Switch 2 setup. Even if it's only 10% tariff, that's still a lot. That brings it up to like $550. Full setup being like, what, 700-ish? If you get controller, the mic thing, and everything. Whatever that is, the little webcam thingy. I'll probably get it just for the sake of it. Probably have a few gimmicks here and there for some games that'll be justifying its purchase. Like with Mario Party and stuff like that. It makes for a pretty good party game. As long as you can use it locally, that should be fine. Which I assume you can. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to. I just feel like it'd be bad at tracking like 3 or 4 people at once. Compared to only one person. Alright, we almost got our mining level. The second slowest one in the stream, almost done. And then everything from there should just be quick. Oh yeah, we got a stonemason level. What am I doing? I forgot to go update the number. Wait. We got a stonemason. That's 3 out of 10. Wait. There we go. 7 levels to go. Hey, currently the poll is pretty split on if we should do Dragonwilds or not. That's kind of funny. Yeah, overall, my opinion on the new Dragonwilds game from RuneScape, honestly, it just looks like any other survival game. I'll probably still play it on our 9-year anniversary of the channel, just to have something to do that day that can fill up the time. Because that can easily end up filling up like 10 hours. But, honestly, after that stream, I probably wouldn't touch it again until it's out of early access. And knowing how survival games are, every single one I've ever touched is still in early access. Like, the last one we played was Power World. And Power World's, like, what, a year and a half, 2 years down the line? And is still in early access. With almost no new content compared to before. Though in all fairness, I say that. I haven't actually played since they added a whole new region and everything. Actually, I think the last time I played it was, like, November. So they have done a bit of progress since then, in the half a year since then. It's mostly because the last time they did anything substantial, Brighter Shores was out, and obviously we're prioritizing Brighter Shores at the time. And still, to some degree, are. It's kind of crazy how much the player base has fallen off for Brighter Shores. Like I always said, I would still be around regardless of what that number is, and we still are. Maybe not every single day, but we still have been. But it's actually crazy that I think it's down to... What is it right now? I'm gonna check the exact number. 521 right now. It is actually insane how low that number has gotten. For reasons I still don't really know. That mining level is finally done. Like, obviously, they've definitely made some questionable decisions and stuff like that. Overall. But I don't know, the base game I still enjoy a ton. There we go, 4 out of 10. Just one of those nice games, pick it up for a little bit, just kind of do whatever, chill, and then you just gain a ton of EXP while AFKing, like actual AFK. Go away for like a half a day, and it's like, oh yeah, you get a bunch of EXP in the return. Go do your ventures for like a minute, boom, you're good to go. But it's one of those games that's in the state of a lot of games these days, where it's in like a weird in-between where it's getting updates here and there, but you know, still isn't a fully fleshed out game. Alright, so next order of business. Let's go do our chef bounties. Maybe we'll just do a little bit of alchemy here. Trying to see how much a 11-minute alchemy would be. I think we could even get away with a 22, but honestly, we probably only need a smaller one. So we could do it real quick. We grab a double 8% pot. Actually, I only need one. Let's grab an 11-11. I think this is enough to go get our level. And then we'll go do our chef bounties. Check whatever's on the board. Normally I would do a double stack of 11, just stay on the machine for a while, but I think this is enough for our level. Because we're getting, I believe, 16,000 per each, and we're doing 11 of them, which means we will have just barely enough to go get 258 from this, which also unlocks a new potion, though we will not be making this potion. It is way too expensive to buy, and I am not getting 340 Forager to get it myself. So we are full skipping the plus 70 Cryonite potion. Even though we are a Cryonite, and it would benefit us a lot probably down the line, it is just too far of a grind to go out of our way. I'm not going out of my way to 340 Gatherer. I mean, Forager. 340 Gatherer I wouldn't mind doing. But I would way sooner get 340 Gatherer than I would 340 Forager. It just has way more of a use case. It feeds into bone rate. It feeds into better potions. And, yeah, and Forager doesn't. You're getting like twice as much EXP for anything that you get from Gatherer compared to Forager. Because you're doing it on the special machine, the potent machine, rather than the other one. So you get a lot more for what you end up doing. You do get half as many potions, but you get way more XP out of everything you do through Gather than you do through Forager. Which is more so the priority right now. Just so we don't have to do as much Gather. Because the main Gather we really want to be doing once we can is Bones. Good old Bones. We don't get another good bone until 280. We do get some bones in between, but we don't get a really good one until 280 there. Also, you know who hasn't been around a lot recently? Speaking of people who've kind of haven't been playing as much. Miles, yes. Actually, wow. My friends list right now. Detective Santa's the only one. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's gone down a lot. There's one person on our entire friends list playing the game right now. Out of the 200 people we have added. It's actually kind of crazy. That is a little crazy. It's really funny, though. But yeah, Miles, yes, hasn't been around much. Vorpal ended up passing. As honestly, even the person below might end up passing Meadow. They seem to mostly just be checking dailies and everything. Seems to be where a lot of people who kind of power grind initially are kind of at right now. Mostly just checking the dailies, throwing a little bit here and there, maintaining them, and that's about it. Like, Unbe's barely been going up. I think he's been going up like a level each day or something. Like, I don't even think he's been checking his daily every day. He's been actually moving so slow. It feels like he's been getting less than a level a day. Sometimes he does shoot up by 2, which I assume is a day that he gets a level off his venture and from the AFK activity. But there's some days he actually moves up by 0. Which means he's not even checking the thing every 24 hours. This might be one of the people who was like rank 3 at one point, I think. Was his highest rank he ever had. I'm not really playing much for ranks. It's fun to see number go up, but the main thing we're after is just getting all the skills up for future content. For bosses, for raids, for whatever else. Because even though the main developer of the game, Andrew Gower, has been a little frustrated with the community recently, I still feel like he has a passion for the game. As long as he maintains that passion, I'll be around for it. As long as they keep developing, even if it's slow. Ideally, it would be quicker, but you know, even if it takes them years to get there, that's fine. Alright, 4 more of these potions to go, and that should be exactly a level on the 4th potion. And then we'll go check our chef bounties. Not going to gain a level here, but combine that with our next run, we should be able to. Which means, what's our focus right now, then? Honestly, I think we go back and do a combat level, then. Because what else do we still have left? We have Bone Right, which we'll dump our knowledge into. We could also train it a little bit while we're dumping our knowledge into it. So we'll do that by the time we get like full meter. So yeah, I think we do our chef, whatever we need to go do for that, do an inventory or 2. Go finally finish out that combat level, which is also technically in zone 2. Then as soon as we're about to get a double meter, we go over to Bone Right, do a little bit of Bone Right manually. And just double dump the knowledge into Bone Right then. And then all we'd have to do is just Chronopolis only then. As well as finishing up the chef bounty later. To finish out the skill. Alright, 1 more left. Oh, we got a little bit early because of all the extra XP on it. Nice. Perfect. Alright, another one down. We're halfway there. At least numerically. Oh, honestly, time-wise, too, probably. Well, maybe not. Detective's definitely going to be the longest one, by far. As far as the amount of time it would take to get it done. But 5 out of 10. Completed. And a new potion that we're never going to make. Just to humor it, though. How much does this potion cost? Actually, let me check it through the wiki. Why? Why would you do such a thing? What am I looking at? Why? That is insane. No wonder why I'm skipping this potion. That is absurd. Like, especially for how little the XP difference is. That is so bad. That is so bad. But yeah, I did not realize it was that bad. I knew it wasn't worth it. I didn't realize it was that not worth it. Yeah, you're basically required to get 340 Forager if you want that thing. You are not making that thing without it. Ever. Under any circumstance. Even for the first time bonus, I don't think it's worth it for that much, gosh. That is so overly expensive. Alright, so we'll do one inventory here. Honestly, we might just camp it until the next thingy. So I might just camp this for 15 minutes so we get the new board. As in 13 minutes from now, we get the new set. I do want to finish out every contract we have, though, that we grab from the board. And the main reason for that is we will end up needing it for... or we'll need to get them all away before we do Detective Merchant. So we have a nice, clean bounty board. Yep, no new quests yet. We're still working on all the quests on the old accounts too, by the way. They're currently working on getting their Hopeport skills up, while AFK, obviously their main production skill in Chapter 3. But they're getting there. They still got a little ways to go, but they're getting there. One step at a time. But I've still been maintaining them. I've even been starting to take their ventures, something I didn't used to do with them in the past. I wish they would get a 24-hour venture, though, rather than a 12-hour, because it's really annoying. That they both have a double 12-hour, whereas this is a 24-hour one. The problem with that is they're far away from getting their fishing level high enough. I believe they need level 73, and they're like 43 right now. They're like 30 levels away. It would take like a whole day on both of them to go grind it up even closer to that. They do both finally have the spear, though one of the accounts can't currently afford the spear, the stonemason one. It is so poor it can't even afford a 340 silver spear. That would be more than its entire cash stack right now. It's so bad. So I gotta go do chef on it to go make money. And that's the other problem too, is I need them to both get to 50 alchemy. And one of them can afford that easily. Because this potion is actually still good. They didn't bother rebalance the Stonewall Hill potion. So this potion is still just as good as it was before all the reworks. So it's really, 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 really good to do. Unfortunately, the XP rate does start to fall off by 35. But its XP rate relative to cost, honestly worth doing all the way to 50 if you don't get your forager up to go do the 29 or the 41 potion here. But you can actually legitimately, in the current state of the game, do this all the way to 23 to 50 if you really wanted to. But you can technically do it all the way from 23 to 62 if you really want to go crazy with it. Better start doing some of the passives and stuff to try to get it up or throw knowledge into it. Because 62 is when you get the next good potion. I think this potion and this potion, the potion at 62 and the potion at 77 are the only two potions that still profit you if you sell them back to the shop in the current state of the game. Whereas every other potion is negative. Stonewall Hill potion is 2, but we're going to need that obviously for Stonewall Hill. You can make them for about 1 point. Actually, I think 1 silver each. You make them for about 1 silver each. And if you were to buy them for Chapter 2, they're almost guaranteed like 2-3 silver each. So you're saving like half the cost, if not more, per each one. So it's actually not horrible, even though the XP rate kind of falls off by 35 and especially by 50. But if you don't mind a lower XP rate, they're only 1 silver each to go make, and then you save them for Stonewall Hill and you save like 2 times, 3 times your money. Since they kind of butchered a lot of the early game alchemy with some of the changes they made. But there's one way to bypass it. You just make the Stonewall Hill potion, just dump all your knowledge into alchemy the whole time while you're doing it, all the way till you get to like 62. What do we have? Hooked hand? I guess we'll do this one. That'll be one of the ones we do in 10 minutes. Why not? Alright, so we're stuck on chef for like 10 minutes then. Hopefully that'll pretty much be enough to go get the level we need then. Between that and the bounties. Fingers crossed, we'll find out. And we'll save the knowledge for bone rate then. Yeah, we'll do this until the bounty board's ready. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of this AFK while grinding Old School RuneScape. Like when actually grinding it. Because doing these stews is really AFK, especially when you bring the side panel up. And I have it really big so that we can just like click right over. Take it up almost like the whole screen. Whenever I'm doing it off stream, this is definitely what I'm doing, just with this in the corner. And just clicking back and forth here and there. Keeping an angle where we get to sell. Then just rinse and repeat because it's so AFK. It's really chill. But we'll just do it for about 10 more minutes just so we can get our next bounties. And hopefully a level. So we don't have to worry about chef later. And the main reason I want to do that is just so we have a nice clean bounties for when we go do Detective Merchant. Because we definitely need to have no cooking bounties left when we go do that. So we'll get a few more right now, clear every single last one out. And hopefully get a level along the way. Then we'll probably get our combat level. Then we probably have double meter to go do bone rate. Then, yeah. Then we just grind out chapter 4 then. Because that's 1, 2, 3, and then the final 2. Merchant should be pretty free. Detective will be our longest grind to stream, but it shouldn't be that bad. Detective's pretty quick. I do enjoy it a lot. The investigations have really grown on me. Like, before the game came out, I thought I would like them a lot. And when the game came out at the lower level range, it's like, yeah, they're okay. But then when you actually get to the higher level range where you get, like, most of the mechanics or every mechanic, it's like, yeah, they're actually pretty good. I do enjoy them. I like what they did with Detective. Detective and Merchant's still my favorite overall skill in the game, just because how unique they are compared to any other game. I do not really like the traditional skills like you'd have, like your woodcutting, your mining, stuff like that. Like, even with Dragonwilds, it still has all, like, the really generic-y ones. Like, you have your crafting skill, you have your mining skill, you have your woodcutting skill. The only one that's kind of out there is rune crafting. But it's basically just a different crafting skill by a different name. But of course, this one, the gimmicks this more RuneScape-like. Making it having to make all your runes for all your spells and everything. Basically as your ammo cost for spells and your ammo cost for using abilities and everything. It's just ammo making by a different name. But as far as this game's unique skills, Detective and Merchant are like the big two. Everything else for the most part are things you'd see in other games. Like, this is your standard gathering skills, this is just fisher, this is just, you know, cooking. This is your potion making skill, this is your wood cutting, your standard mining, all that kind of stuff, your standard crafting skills. Detective Merchant's the only two that have really branched out from the standard system so far. And honestly, we need more chapters like Chapter 4. I really wish Chapter 1 would have been more like that too. Because that's the first chapter people get introduced to. And I really felt like Chapter 1 should have been more like Chapter 4 in the sense that the skills should have been way more unique than they are. Also, it doesn't help that they put two completely dead content skills in Chapter 1. Fisher and Chef. Which in the current state of the game both do nothing but make money. And have decent EXP rate for Venture. Like the best EXP rate of any Venture. But as far as the actual usefulness of the skills, they do nothing in the current state of the game. Unlike Forger and Alchemy that are actually useful. The Forger is set up really weird that you get most of the benefit by level 209. Everything you get from there to max is nearly useless. Not completely useless, but relative to the amount of time needed to allocate towards it, it's pretty useless. Compared to other skills that you could be getting. The only really good thing about it is some of the EXP rates have really good knowledge rate while you're doing it. Some of the cycles that you could do. But beyond that, it doesn't have too much going for it, other than decent knowledge rate and a few potions here and there that it gets access to. I guess it makes high-level Chef a little bit more convenient, but honestly, I feel like I would mostly skip those. Because they require a really high-level Fisher component and a really high-level Forger component. And it just doesn't feel worth gathering both. I will be for the 259s for Chef. But that's probably the last time we're ever doing Cod and Chip. Like, even this Cod and Chip, I'd, like, barely ever do, the 208 one. But the last one I'll ever do is the one at 259. The other two that you end up getting, the ones at 362 and the one at 467, I don't plan on ever doing. Maybe I'll buy a few of the really high tier one when trading comes out, because some people will probably sell it for cheaper than the shop. But beyond that, I don't really foresee myself making any Cod and Chips beyond once we finally need to not do this 259 one anymore. And I'm going to have about 1,003 of these banked between what we already have from the potatoes. I think I have 1.4k banked, combined with, you know, whatever you go and do while doing Cod Rack. Because I do need to go do Cod Rack for, oddly enough, also 1.4k of them. I got to go do 1.4k, what's it called? 1.4k racks at some point for 1.4k 10% Hope Port potions. Which will hopefully last us all the way to 500 all. I have no clue. Is I've mostly only been using it for, you know, ventures, some cooking contracts here and there when we're doing a big turn and stuff like that. It's not like I'm, like, chucking them down, so they last quite a while. Like, the 4 or 500 we got earlier, I think I still have, like, 60 left. So they lasted quite a while. We made those back in, what? That would have been, like, late January, early February. And they are still lasting us 3 months later. Despite having trained quite a bit in this chapter. So yeah, 1.4k won't last us all the way to 500 all for Chapter 1, but you know, it'll last us a good amount of time for how sparingly we use them. I just gotta use them a little bit less often, I guess, for cooking contracts, unless we're gonna get like a really, really good set. Like a triple century turn-in or something. Or a double scrap merchant to double century. Like the really, really solid ones, because sometimes I do it only for standard triple or standard quad. But I should probably only save it for the really, really, really good turn-ins. Those being mostly Little Lucy to Scrap Merchant into Century. Anything that does like 4 of those or more at the same time are the main ones you want to look for using it on. Alright, one more inventory of stews, and I think our contracts will be ready. So I gotta make sure to not sell the next inventory. And then that should pretty much be chef done. Assuming we can scrap together enough XP from all of our contracts. Might be a little short. Because how much are we getting for our next inventory? We're getting 4.3k each. There's 23 per inventory. That's almost 100k XP right there. A little under. Combine that what we have right now, that's basically 100k. So we need to scrap together another 300k. Yeah, we're going to be slightly short then. Because there's no way we're getting 300k from everything on our board. Unless we get like all scrap merchant and century only. Would be the only way it would hit that high. Yeah, we're going to be a little low. Oh, hey, we finally hit 30 gold as well. Haven't had that for a while. We'll be burning all that really soon, though. It's like, what, 25, 28 gold to go. I think it's like 28-ish gold we need to go spend to go upgrade our sickle. Oh, we'll have to use it through the new system, too. I haven't actually upgraded that much through the new obelisk system. We have to bring them to the obelisk instead of the enchantress. The only thing we ever did so far with that new system was the cage for Fisher. Like about a couple weeks ago when we started doing the ventures. But aside from this, I haven't actually done anything in a new format for enchanting something. The annoying part about that room, though, is it's filled with goblins. But I believe if you stand on the other side of the obelisk, you should be fine. You should break aggro. Worst comes to worst, we can just drink a quick fear potion or something. Because one annoying thing about that room is it's the only room that has an obelisk that is also a combat room. So you can constantly keep grabbing aggro the whole time. And even if you use the thing that lets you escape the spell, the immunity spell, I believe interacting with the obelisk starts to count down the timer. So you don't actually get full immunity there, unfortunately. You know, one fear potion sipping will be fine, though, if we really had to. But we'll just hide behind it, and hopefully it's fine. Only got to upgrade it 15 times, doesn't take that long. I was like, I can technically do that right now. The only reason I haven't been is in case an update comes out of nowhere where we need a lot of money. Like, what if they randomly add trading in like 2 weeks or something? So until we actually have 248 gather, I'm not going to be spending on the sickle upgrade yet. Yeah, whenever we finally get it, we'll definitely stream it. We're still a ways away, though. At my current rate of training gatherer, we're like a month or two away. Given how wide we've been skilling off stream. Because I've really been focusing on any one skill for the most part. Though if I was to, the main two I would want to prioritize are Gatherer and Mining. Gatherer as it feeds into Alchemy and into Bone Rate. And Mining because it feeds into Smithing and Stonemason. Because our whole goal has always been Mines of Batubin. Why have we done Chronopolis? Because of Mines of Batubin. Why have we done Hope Forest? Mines of Batubin. Why have we done Hope Port? Mines of Batubin. And why are we doing Mines of Batubin? Combat. So we can make all of our 4-star spec weapons that don't exist yet. Everything leads back into weapon crafting. Which leads back into combat. Which leads back into whatever on Earth the system is that they change it into that will hopefully be better by the time they add raids and bosses. And the rest of the features that they want to add. I would say that's been probably the most demotivating thing in recent times. It's just that they changed combat so much. And literally the entire game cycle, or at least how we were playing it, feeds into combat. But now we're feeding into something that we're not actually doing. Though I will go gain 1 combat level as soon as we go finish the chef out. But, you know, for the most part, I haven't really been gaining combat. Since the new system, I think I've gained 10 levels, not even. And half of that was AFK off the passive. Like, I think we gained 2 to 3 levels off the passive just to mess around with it with the wealth potion and everything. So I've basically gained like 5 to 7 actual combat levels since the combat rework. That is it. The only thing we killed was a little bit of multi-skilling carnivorous plant. Mostly the outlaw. And maybe like 10 vipers. Which maybe a few dozen vipers. Oh, wait. Bounty board's ready. Don't sell, don't sell. See if we have anything good here. Let's see. We got a stew. That's not worth it. Scrap merchant. Okay, we'll roll with this. You know what? I'll do this. I have enough banked. It's not really that big a deal to go out of our way for it. Alright, sell out everything except for the stew. Got that. We're good to go. Alright. Let's see. Let's go make everything else we need. We need 10 on the oyster. Oh, I don't have enough room, really? Okay, that's fine. I'll grab one more. Oh, it's because of the potion. I was going to say. What's taking up the extra inventory space? But yeah, it was the potion. That's fine. Alright, make 10 of those, and then the only other thing we need is the 5 of the, Actually, I probably should have done this one first. I'm not sure why I did it in this order. Because we need 15 inventory space, but we could just drop them and that'll be fine, or just juggle them then. Let the saw's still going. That should be everything we need. Grab all that. Take the last 5 of these. And what is our run right now? Ella, Big Sheen, Scrap Merchant, and then Telly back with a 5%. That's fine. And is that enough EXP? Let's see. We need to get... How much is that? Like 220k. Actually, 230k. We might be able to scrap that together. Let's see. Is that enough? Ah, it's going to be slightly short. We're going to have to do one more inventory stew, it looks like. That's fine, though. I gotta just do the contract later when we get our next bounty set. Let's go run them. Start from Ella. Do Big Sheen, do Scrap Merchant, Telly back, put that in, go get our new potion that we want for our next activity, good to go. At this point, yeah, we'll transition off a chef and just wait till the next bounty set, I guess. Because that'll guarantee be enough. Well, we gotta wait till the next hour to go get that. Obviously, we could just do one inventory stew and get it now if we really wanted to, but slightly better if we wait for the contract. Hey, what do I need for you? Ella wanted stew. Whole reason why we even didn't sell all of them. Then we go to Hooked Hand and go to Sheen, go to Scrap Merchant, Telly back, and we're good to go. And when we Telly back, we can go re-equip our better potion then. As I think we're transitioning into what potion are we going for? I guess simply just, actually, what are we moving to? Because we're doing combat. I guess technically mine's a Matubin potion. So that we can go do the Bone Right. Actually, I might just do that next. We're about to get almost all of our knowledge right now. So yeah, we'll do the combat after we go do that then. That is perfectly fine. Alright, Big Sheen, what did you want again? You wanted oyster. And now we have 1 minute to get this to Scrap Merchant. Actually, ideally what would happen is we have 1 minute to get this to Scrap Merchant and have, like, several seconds to get this to her. We'll see if that happens. Not too big a deal because hers is worth so much less, but if we can. I'm not going to drink with 5% just for that, though. Luckily, it's en route to replacing our potion anyway, so we're not even going out of our way to go turn into her. Add in a few steps into our room. Oh, you know what? We might actually have enough time. We might actually have enough time. It's going to be really tight. But we should be able to make it. She's right here. There was one of the other ones, like the Quartermaster, we probably wouldn't have been able to make it. But given that she's just a little bit closer, yeah, we're going to make it with plenty of time to spare. Like a solid several seconds. Easy. Yeah, cooking contract's done for the hour. Alright, let's go get our better potions, and let's go head over to, yeah, mine's Matubin. Let's go get our Bone Right level. So they're both level 229. At this point, I've kind of been trying to keep them both even. We're trying to get them both to about 250-ish. With Bone Right really carrying about 258, and the other one carrying about whatever grand it's at, which I think is like 267. Alright, what do I need? I need, mine's Matubin potion. Not too many of them. I need like a few of you and like one of the other one. Gosh, we made so many of those 7%. I'm so glad we did. Because we're still so far away from being able to do the better ones. And by that, I mean 383. Which we are more than 100 levels away. On a skill that is very expensive to train. Especially when you're keeping all the potions yourself. Not selling them all back. Let's go get our Bone Right level. This should be pretty easy because we're dumping both the knowledge onto Bone Right. So there should only be 2 inventories. The actual XP rate of what we're getting is pretty bad because we're still doing like a 161 method or something. However, the double knowledge will pretty much get there immediately. So 2 sets and we should be fine. And if I remember the ratio, it should be 5 and... I think we grab 5 and then grab all bones or something. Was the way we're doing it earlier. Just grab 5 wood, then all bone, then go make weapon. I need to double check what the ratio is after we do that, though. So we need Suave. No, we don't need Suave. Yeah, we need Suave. So we grab 5 Suave. We grab all the Bone Spike. Gosh, we still have so much Bone Spike left. I made this for all the weapons we would ever need down the line. Or, you know, how much we gathered. And gosh, did we gather a lot. Okay, how many can I make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's what I thought. So we make 2 of the better ones and 3 of the lesser ones is how many we have. Okay, that's what I thought. So 2 bigger ones, 3 lesser ones. And that allows us to keep both the 7% and 5% potion on us. And next inventory should be a bone right level. And hopefully we get at least 1 3-star along the way, so we have another weapon upgrade for a 4-star spec weapon later. And you always want to make the bigger one first so you can get the XP bonus on it. Because the final 2 will not get an XP bonus, but the first 3 will. So let's make sure we get the other 2 bigger ones in here just to get a little bit extra XP out of it. And then 1 more inventory, and that should be bone right level. And that's, what, 6 out of 10 then? We're almost there. It feels so weird gaining so many levels in a day for post 200 though. Because post 200, if you were to do a slower skill, it would take absolutely forever to go get. Because a lot of them, if you're not putting knowledge directly back into the skill, it's like 2 hours for 1 level. If you were to start it all the way from the bottom of the bar. Like when we're doing AFK stews, that's 2 hours for 1 level. Not counting contracts. Because, of course, a lot of skills have a way to offset their level. Forager has really good knowledge rate. Fisher has the best ventures in the game. Chef has chef bounties. Alchemy has, you just already have pre-banked whatever the best thing is. Gatherer has nothing. Woodcutting has some overlap with its tool with the AFK activities. Carpenter has nothing. Mining has the venture. All 3 of these have nothing. Detective has multi-skilling. Leatherworker has nothing. And Merchant has multi-skilling. So the only ones that really don't have anything to expedite them is basically the processing skills. Which is one of the reasons why they're the main target for knowledge almost always. Because Alchemy, Carpenter, the 3 weapon making skills from Chapter 3, and Leatherworker, all 6 of those have no way to expedite them. Whereas every other skill in the game has at least something. Well, I guess technically Gatherer doesn't either. But I'm hoping that Gatherer gets like a venture starting with the update, like the 2-star quest that they're adding to it. I highly doubt they will. But it would fix the one issue that Gatherer has in that regard. If they were to do such a thing. Alright, let's go do 1 more set. And that should be a alchemy level. I mean, gosh, I will eventually say the right thing. A bone right level. Let's see, how much do we need for the other one? You know what? I think I'm going to put the other one on the stonemason. Because I need it down the line, and honestly, we're pretty much going to get there from this inventory. I think I might have to make like 1 or 2 more weapons, but that's fine, we're already here. Maybe even do the one-time bonus on one of these other ones, like the javelin or the club. Because doing that even a single time would get us a level, so I think that's what we're going to do. I don't think I have the supplies for the javelin, but I should have the supplies for the club. Because I believe that uses tier 5 oak, which we do have laying around. So I'm actually going to be putting this on stonemason. Because down the line, it's better XP for what we need. Because all I have to do is finish this inventory and then make this club and we get our bone right level then. Which should use the oak thing that we already have in our bank. Because it should use one of the tier 5 bones and a tier 5 oak. And I can't make the javelin because it requires tier 5 as something I have not reached for woodcutting yet or carpentry. But this club, I believe, is at what we already have banked. So we should be able to make the club, but not the javelin. At least based on already banked material. I just forget what this ends up using bone-wise. I believe it's the tier 1 bone. Which is the rib, the sheep. I can't remember which one that is. I think it's called the sheep. Which we can check it easily just by going here. It is the goat horn. And then goes ram. Which is not a sheep, it's a ram. But yeah, the goat horn is the one we're looking for. Tier 5 goat horn should be the one that you need for it. With tier 5 oak, if I remember correctly. I'm not too familiar with a lot of things with bone right, because it's all over the place. But honestly, after making a one-time bonus on every single thing in the game, it has kind of acquainted me with what everything requires a little bit better compared to before, when we end up finishing out all the one-time bonuses pre-200 for everything in the entire game. Because we did a whole stream of that one day, just finishing literally every single one. It took quite a while, and actually I think the stream disconnected near the end. I still finished the last few that we had to do off-stream. Yeah, it took pretty much like a whole day of grinding between on-stream and off-stream. It took a lot longer than expected. You'd think doing the first-time bonus on everything pre-200 would take like, you know, a few hours. But I think in total that day, it took anywhere from like 8 to 10 hours total. In all fairness, we were missing a lot of stuff, but I feel like a lot of people are missing a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of random junk you just wouldn't ever craft it between a lot of the things. But we end up going back and crafting all of them. Up to 200. Alright, let's go see what I need for this oak thing. I'm pretty sure I already know exactly what I need though. Which is 2 or 3 of these. Probably that's hickory. Where's oak? I need like 2 or 3 of these. And I need like 1 of the bone. Which is this one. I believe this is correct. I'll find out when it's not. Oh, it requires 3? Oh, it's 3-1, not 1-3. Okay, I was right with the numbers. It was the inverse material, though. Whoops. So I was right. It is 1-3, but actually it's 3-1. I was half right. Alright, now we should be able to make it. And that should be a bone rate level. As well as first time bonus for this club. But this one's the purely physical one. Wait, is this the green weapon or the purely physical? No, this is definitely the physical one. This is the physical wacky weapon. The problem is it's one-handed. Cryonite's the only one that gets a two-handed version of it. Both Hammer Mage and Guardian only have a one-handed version. This being the main physical one hand for Guardian. Yep, there it is. Big wacky physical weapon for Guardian. Nice. Alright, got our level. Let's add that to the numbers. We're now at 6 out of 10. We're nearly there. Alright, we got it. Alright, next order of business. Let me go sell everything we have. Honestly, while we're there, I might as well just go get the chef level then. And then again, we can start... Well, I gotta go there for the potion. Well, no, we can still do that through Town Square or through Detective. You know what? Change of plan. No, we are doing it in chapter... We're doing it in chapter... What's it called? 4. Because what I can go do now is sell everything there, go replace my potion, and go straight to go get a new bounty. Or I guess our first bounty, since we haven't really gotten any. But yeah, Detective will by far be the longest skill we need to go get today. Combat should take no time at all. Chef is literally just waiting for the hourly bounty. And Detective, I mean, Merchant's gonna be free while doing Detective. Let's go sell all this junk, see if there's any upgrade worth mentioning at the shop. I don't think there is, though, at this point. Still kind of want to see, just in case. Who knows, maybe one of my old accounts would need it. Because they should still be the same tier for every class. So, for example, every single class should have a shield here. That is a 2-star. So if my old account needed a shield, you could go buy it now. Because I believe it's the same for everyone. Like, obviously the exact items aren't the same, but you know. Like, the type of item that is there is the same. So, for example, the old accounts should have a range weapon here. And the old accounts should have a shield here of the 2-star variety. So if they needed a range weapon upgrade or a shield upgrade, they could be able to get it right now. But of course our account needs neither. Alright, let's replace this potion for Chronopolis potions. And yeah, let's start doing some investigations. It's by far going to be the slowest one we need to get today. Technically, we could always just opt to get the merchant level and go for a different skill if we want. The only problem is the only next closest one is Fisher, which I'd rather get just from the Venture. I just want to go do like mining or something else for the whole time, but no, I'd rather just do Detective thing. Gotta do it some anyways here. Alright, let's grab like 100, 200 of these. Grab like, what am I looking for? Fear Potion in case we need it. Not the bigger one, give me the weaker one. Not anything too crazy here. Yeah, that should be enough. Alright, let's go get our contract. We're gonna need to get at least enough merchant contracts to go get a level as well. Let's see what we got over here. Come on, something good. Alright, what do we need? Oh, East Courtyard, Archive, Sewer. Sewer makes that really annoying. Hmm. The other one's honestly just as annoying. Give me this one. We're looking for a Sudep. Oh, we got Sudep. I'm gonna go and teleport to west, or east, I mean. The reason for this is I want to go get all of our merchant stuff and then do East Courtyard. But the reason I want to do this is there's a lot of merchant things that make you go top left. And this is forcing us to go top left for sewer. So let's go get some double dipping there. What do we need? Oh, we're gonna go... Oh, wait, that's bottom left corner, though. Alright, that's good, that's good. This, in theory, is not bad. We're about to get a reset, so we'll see what we end up ultimately getting here. Wine is potentially a drop. It's good, but the routing that you do for a lot of these contracts don't really go there that often. Candle has the same synergy that that one pretty much has. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. It's not great. It's not awful. Anything we get to pick up here is the double clockwork in top left. Alright, so we need East Courtyard, which is right over there. And then we go all the way to sewer. But we gotta go over there first to go buy our clockwork stuff. And then go to sewer. Hey, what side of sewer did we get? We got, southwest. I always go the wrong way. Make sure to go the right way this time. But yeah, honestly, this is still my favorite activity in the game, Detective Merchant. That's why, one of the reasons why detective levels are highest level these days. Even though I've been trying to keep everything relatively even. And even though detective's pretty useless as a skill, I just enjoy doing it. So I probably should keep these up just smaller. There we go. So we can also get the quick teleports whenever we need them. Because gosh, do you teleport a lot. Oh yeah, I need to remember to go buy double clockwork. And the whole reasons we came here. So I thought this was the room because I never see anyone teleport there. Remember if they were a teleport, they would teleport in this room. Also, if I do a west telly, which I think we will, I can actually turn in this clockwork and use the 5% on the thing. And buy our trophy that we need. So we're probably going to triple dip that then. Yep, almost time to use our fear potion. Off of our non-existent tool belt. There we go. Okay, we're going to take a southwest here. Alright, what do we need for the investigation? Green trouser sailor with a bow. Green trouser sailor bow. Green trouser sailor bow. Green trouser sailor bow. Green trouser sailor bow. Is that a bow? Green trouser, sailor bow. That would be you. Alright, next contract. Oh, this one's really free. Fortune Old Farm. I don't have any reason to go there at the moment. Yeah, we're taking this one. This one's really free. This is Goose Inn, Bobbin Road right next to it, and then Cyclops East Pass, which we got to teleport to anyways to turn in. It's very free. Alright, very easy. And always turn in on center. Alright, what do we have to deal with? We got a barefoot, full beard with orange trouser. Simple enough. So I like that you can walk through the map without interrupting this. There's a nice feature bug that they added with the map touchscreen. It just doesn't break the interface. Barefoot, full beard, orange trouser. 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 That would be you. Nice easy one down. Alright, city dies, how far's hallway, vestment hall strong. Oh, that's annoying. Two of them are kind of close though. Yeah, it's better than the other one. That's fine. I could turn in some of my contract with the 5% that we have right now. And when I come my other way back, when we go back to city dies, I can go get new tasks then. Also, we're south enough that I might go buy everything we need south, which is wine and candle. Especially if we get another one by then. But yeah, we're still affected by 5%, so we want to go turn these in first. Just so we don't have to repot. We have a really big turn in too. We got clockwork over there. Second biggest turn in other than orange. Let me double check. Which one is Vestment Hall? Isn't that the one that's all the way inside? How far is hallway? Let me just double check this on map. Yeah, that's the one I thought it was. Okay. So I gotta do the vestment storage room thingy first. Which is right over here. Let me just double check. A little rusty on these. But it should be northwest from us. Oh no! That's that one! Oh, I thought that was the storeroom thing. This one's a little bit more annoying than I thought. That's fine. Yeah, a little bit worse of a contract than I initially anticipated. I knew about the Hellfar Gate one, or the Hellfar Hallway one. But I forgot that this one's the really annoying one in the middle of nowhere. Thought it might have been the other one. But nope, different name. Different storeroom. Alright, we just did this quest on the other two accounts as well recently. That's true, I think that was last stream, wasn't it? We did the quest for both the two alts on that. Unfortunately, I can't tele here. And you're forced to have to tele out the other one. But yeah, not ideal, but it's fine. And then when we go teleport back for City Dies, we go grab new contracts then. And ideally we get a lot of bottom route stuff that we could buy up. Because I think I'm just going to buy everything there. Grab our wine, grab our candle, grab one other thing we need. City Dies isn't like right on top of it, but it's not that far out of our way. Also, where am I going right now? Oops, why am I going all the way over here? I was talking about it and now I was starting to head over there. I completely missed my turn. Gosh, we're a little rusty at investigations. Haven't done them, honestly, since we last streamed it like a couple weeks ago. Like before Xenoblade Chronicles X came out. We ended up doing that for like a week. Yeah, we got a 4 for our level. We're getting there. Still 3/4 to go. But this was always going to be the slowest one out of the 10 of them. But we do get a merchant level along the way. Basically for free. Speaking of merchant, please give me at least one bottom task. Ideally, a double up on whatever we have, like a wine or a candle. Wine probably being a little bit better. Not only is it worth a bit more, but it's actually easier to turn in. At least while doing detective. No! Wine was there, but it got reset. Oh, that's unfortunate. I gotta grab Wimpy Wine. Boo. We got gypped. We got gypped so hard. We gotta take Wimpy Wine. It was there, but it got reset literally the second I opened the menu. Oh, that's sad. Wimpy Wine is very easy to turn in while doing detective. But since we were going there anyways, it would have been way better if it was normal wine. Alright, so go grab the 2 items we need. Head back through center. Go turn in whatever we have to go do, and then should be good to go. And on to our next contract. But yeah, this one was way worse than I thought it would have been. Not ideal. Well, we got everything done that we needed to this run. Just a little slower than anticipated based on what I saw at the board. Hey, Detective Santa's on. Whenever he's working on Leatherworker. Based on his pathing, yeah, he definitely is banking leather. That's something I really like about the chapters, though. With how they're separated, you can literally tell just by someone's movement where they're going. Like, there's like a 98% chance he's banking leather right now. You can tell just based on their movement what they're doing. There's only so many things you could be doing in any given chapter. Alright, we're looking for ginger here, orange trouser, and a crossbow. Ginger hair, orange trouser, and a crossbow. Alright, what do we have? Hellforce Hallway, Kynat's Garden, Goose Inn. It's actually really free. Oh, so just while I'm in the area, in case we over encumber at some point, let me go turn in the wine. It's like ever so slightly out of our way, but not really. Alright, so we gotta do Goose, and then we can do both of them up north. Gotta do Kynat's Garden first, though. Yeah, how far it's hallway is the same one we had earlier. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's the one. Just double checking. Oh, I forgot to grab wine. We got Wimpy Wine. That's really free because pretty much every detective route ever goes down this road. And now I gotta backtrack for the haul, but that's fine. And do we tele east or west? East, I believe, is slightly closer, plus we get to turn in wine. I probably won't pick up more contracts while I'm there, though. If we could pick up at least 3, I would. Picking up only 2 doesn't seem worth it. I know, my fear potion just ran out. That should last for a while. 12-minute fear lasts for, well, 12 minutes. That's a lot of time. We've been doing this for about 12 minutes then, because I started the first contract, so we're like 13, 14 minutes into doing detective right now. We're getting there, though. How much of a level do we have? Yeah, it does look like we're still gonna have to do it for an hour, then. Yeah, this was by far our slowest skill, because we had to do about, like, what, 40, 50 minutes of mining? Whereas detective, it looks like it's gonna take, like, 120 minutes to get our full level. Though we will get our merchant level along the way. I'm not sure what I'm dumping the knowledge into right now, though. Because we do have some knowledge that we can dump into something. Realistically, I think I just go over to put into stonemason. Though if we really wanted to expedite it, we could put it into detective. If we really wanted to. Honestly, I should probably just put it into leatherworker. So we can get closer to our next high tier. Though merchant's the main bottleneck to that. Not detective. I mean, not leatherworker. Like, the main bottleneck to our next hide is definitely our merchant level. Alright, what do we have? We have blowpipe, no eyewear, and blue here. Blowpipe, no eyewear, blue here. Blowpipe, no eyewear, blue here. Blowpipe, no eyewear, blue here. That'd be him. Oh, what do we have? Kindness Garden, Goose Goose. Honestly, this one's pretty free. Give me that one. I don't even need to see what the other one is. This one is already pretty free. Well, so you know what we're going for? I'm putting this in a leatherworker. We're probably not gaining a single leatherworker level this stream, but since we're already 5%ed. Alright, so we have a double goose right now. Main goose and goose 2. Then we have to do Kindness Garden again. But this is the most ideal one you could ever get. 2 easy steps and a hard step. It has the best ratio of time to EXP rate, as well as time to money. Ideally, you want every contract to be like this one. 2 really easy steps like what we just did, and then 1 harder step so it's worth more. Otherwise, this would only been worth like 130, 140k. But it's worth 178 because there's 1 hard step on it. But the 1 hard step's not that hard. Also, I think I'm going to take the scenic route so we can go turn everything in for merchant. We're going to turn in candle by the other 2 things. And then turn them both in. And we could do that all with 1 potion and still get the detective thing in. Just so we can get a nice new merchant set. And after that next merchant set, there should be a merchant level. Kindness Garden. But yeah, we'll take the scenic route. Just because there's 3 items we got to do. It's not that much further away either. We're going all the way across the block instead of just making a straight line to it, but it's not that much further for how much value we get in return. Because the closest path would be go all the way down and go over there. But we're going to go all the way through here and make an entire circle around it. And then end there. But in doing so, we will turn in 3 merchant contracts. As every single thing is turn-inable on this route. We turn in this, we buy both of these, we turn both of these in middle at the same shop. Actually, no, not same shop, but same route. And then boom, we're good to go. All within the same 5% pot. And of course, this is also getting turned in. Which is a chef, no eyewear with a peg leg. Yeah, I should be able to do all that within this 5%. Let's hope so. I'll be a little bit pressed on time for the investigation, but shouldn't be that hard to find a peg leg. It's one of the easier visually identifiable ones. Alright, so what I need here, I need banana and I need clockwork. Let me make sure I buy both of them. Because they are 2 different shops here. Alright, we need 6 of you. We need 6 of you. Both of these turn in on middle. One of them get turned in grocery shop. The other one gets turned in right next to the investigation place. And then we go turn in the investigation itself. which is a chef, no Ira, peg leg. It should be pretty easy to tell. Chef and peg leg are easy to see. No eyewear is a little bit harder to see though, because the monocles are sometimes hard to see on them. Other two should be really obvious though. Finding chef, peg leg, and then it should just be between the two of them then, because there shouldn't be more than two that have a chef, peg leg in there. It just comes down to which one has no eyewear on. And we have 30 seconds to figure it out. Go, go, go! Well, technically 40 something, but by the time we get in there. Alright, what do we have? Chef, peg leg, no eyewear, no eyewear? Chef, no eyewear, peg leg. Perfect, got you. Easy. Yeah, what time to spare? Yeah, we'll put this in the leather worker again, I guess. Alright, what do we have next? Bobbin Road, Radaman Road. This one's really free. That's not worth 149k. That is so free. I guess Radaman Road made it worth more. But all three of these are right on top of each other. Oh, wait, Bobbin Road... No. Bobbin Road North's the one I think it is. Yeah, that's the really free one. Yeah, this whole thing is really free. Not sure why it's worth a decent amount. I guess Radaman Road is just worth that much. I guess Radaman Road in isolation is kind of a little far away. But with this triple set, we already have to go halfway there just for one of the steps. So it's not really much of a penalty because we have to go here already, and then Radaman Road's like right over there. Also, why is he all the way over there? Why do you make me have to go all the way over to him? No! He's at like the furthest possible tile he could even be in the entire room. There's not a single tile that could be more convenient other than the one, I guess, right next to him. Oh, wow. Double people did an AFK activity. Don't say that too often for Leatherworker. Alright, let's see if we get good RNG. If we get bad RNG, I'm probably going to reset my merchant task. If I get good RNG, I'm just going to walk back. Determined by if this guy gives me the hint. No! Okay, we'll get more contracts then. We have to go the long way around, but now that we're close enough to the merchant tower that we'll just go reset them all. That's fine. We had to do that anyways. Just a good excuse to go do it. Alright, let's go get our new merchant contracts, since it brought us a long way around. We're looking for mutton chops, white hero with white trouser. That's easy to remember. Pretty much all white with mutton chops. Let's see what we get here for contracts. Come on, something good. No! I got timered again. Okay, we go to chef enough that that's not bad. A lot of these are probably going to be abandoned, though. A lot of these are not worth taking. I'll still grab them, though. That's unfortunate. At least I was able to sneak in the banana. We're getting really bad timings on that board. That's like the second or third time in a row where we got there with 3 seconds to spare, or 0 pretty much. Really, really bad timing on them. So we haven't needed a fear potion in a while. Every step we've been getting hasn't had a combat room for a while. Though I do try to avoid them when possible. Even with fear potion. Mutton chops, white. Is that mutton chop? No, clean shaven. Mutton chops, white. Mutton chops, white here, white trouser. We're almost at half a level. Merchant should get there after a few more turn-ins. Bobbin Road North, Servant's Room, Fountain of Delight. You know what? I gotta go there anyways for some contracts, so we'll head over there. Why not? I got a few contracts over there. Not much, though. Mostly just turn in pizza and banana. That's more than nothing. Fountain of Delight's a little annoying because how much further you have to walk into it. Also, I don't actually have a goose in step here. I'm just buying the pizza since we're going to be there anyways. It would have been more ideal if we had a servant step, but, nope. I mean, not a servant. I mean, a goose in. We did get servant. But it would have been way better if it wasn't. What we do have over here, though, and the reason why I came here is Bobbin Road North. We do have this little one. Good, the guy's in a little bit of a better position this time. Though we don't need him. There's a Fountain of Delight and Servant's Bathroom. And the only other thing we need to pick up is Banana. I guess technically plate 2 so we can go do a bottom route. Actually, I'll have the inventory by then. I should go pick up plate and doll. Since we get clockwork when we turn in the other thing anyways. And then from Fountain we go all the way to Servant's House. Buy the banana, turn in the pizza. And buy the plate on the side road. That's the main one I feel like I'm going to forget. The side road plate. Yep, someone else doing detective, nice. A lot more people doing it. That's one nice thing about them nerfing raid dens. There's actually people interacting with the other detective mechanics. It's not just everyone camping raid dens forever. Like, you actually see people, like, catching thieves. You actually see people doing investigations. Also, we 5% pretty early. I think we have the 5% here for this run. That's fine. We trade with you. Trade this for that. Grab banana. Hey, we got our merchant level. I'm still going to be doing both simultaneously, though, even though we got the level we needed. Oh! I found what we can dump the rest of our knowledge into. I need to go dump my next 4 points into the AFK. Perfect. Nice. Okay, we found our new target for knowledge. We need 4 more for the merchant AFK activity. Am I actually going to do that merchant AFK activity? I'm not sure. But we got it. It feeds into the leatherworker AFK. Honestly, the main one I really want is that spice, though, at 264. If I was the AFK one. The main reason being is we actively need that for what you call it. Oh, yeah, I need to make sure to buy clockwork thingy, too. But we actively need that for... Oh, wait! No! The servant's bathroom was a detect! No! Wait, I need to go back. It was our first detect aura of the stream and I didn't notice. Alright, Soil Stain, Infernae, Pegleg. Soil Stain, Pegleg. Soil Stain, Pegleg. I think it's this guy. Soil Stain, Infernae, Aura, Pegleg. Yep, that's the guy. There we got a nice quick one. Honestly, it's pretty much the quickest one you can ever get. This set of 3. It's worth the least, but it goes so quick that we're actually going to be able to double dip the potion. If we can get there quick enough. It's only going to take, we got like 25 seconds to figure out who it is. Which is Boots Male Sailor. Sounds like a pretty generic sailor to me. Boots Male Sailor. Oh, another. Wow, back to back. Well, we got a back-to-back free one. We're looking for Blaldrick, which is this guy over here. But yeah, we got back-to-back super free. I was going to say on the previous run, too, the other easiest one we can get is double Goose into Archive. So we got 2 of the easiest possible ones you could ever get back-to-back. They give less, but honestly, at this high of a level range for how quickly you could turn them in, I think they're worth taking every time. I know, I can start to smell the smoke from the soul outside. Oh no. At least I don't smell the sawdust, if nothing else. Like, it smelled like the heat. Like that, like, almost like oily smell from the equipment. Let's see, Chef Eva, purple trouser. Well, it's because it's like right outside my window, that's fine. I'll go away soon. As long as the smell's not here by night. Oh, it's this one. What am I doing? Chef Eva, purple trouser. Yep, that's the one. Guards Archive, fill in storeroom. This one's actually not that bad. It makes itself look a lot worse than it actually is. We're looking for a Mona. Oh, so when did we get to do merchant again? We have not had a bottom route in so long. In all fairness, we already got our merchant level, so it's not that big a deal. But, if nothing else, at least we get that better detective XP quicker. He's at this rate, it's becoming detective only. We're getting such bad RNG on detective, I mean on merchant route while doing detective. Oh, so this is the one I thought earlier when it said storeroom. I always confuse it for the strong room. Strong room, storeroom, same thing. Oh, so let's test our RNG on the crates. I haven't been doing these lately. See if we get good RNG. Nope. Nope. Probably should be taking them a lot more. Mostly for the brick and tiles and everything. But also for how quick they are. You make like, probably an extra 100 silver an hour. For a time cost of only an extra minute or 2. It's not that bad. Alright, so we're looking for, a Sheaf Sad Tarek. Sheaf Sad Tarek. Sheaf Satiric. Alright, we're halfway there. On the hardest level of this stream. Yeah, we'll just keep dumping this into the merchant AFK. Not sure if I'm actually going to do it, just to get out of the way, though. Cyclops, Sleeping Cave, Guards Archive, Radiman Road. That is so annoying. Give me whatever the other one is. I don't even care what it is. Yeah, just give me that one. This one isn't even that hard. Why is this worth so much more? The only thing that's hard is Vestment Hall. Everything else is free. I never understand ones that are like this. So I think I might finally turn in south since we have a Radiman Road here. I'm gonna go a little bit out of my way, just because we have to telly anyways. Oh, wait, oops. Oh, it's oh! That's why it's worth so much more. It's Radamore Road. Well, even more of a reason to go do this turn-in. Ah, that's what threw me off. That's why it's worth so much more. Alright, well, since we're over here, even more of a reason to go do this then. Buy our snow globe. And while these two are out of our way, I think we will go turn both of them in real quick. Just so we can get a nice clean merchant setup. Because the only thing we have to turn in is snow globe, which you could do on any route, including this route, actually. As soon as we teleport over there, we're going to be turning it in. When we go to the stronghold thingy. Let's double check. Westgate, that's easy, just come back. Let me just show on map, just to make sure I go to the right place. Yeah, this one all the way in the corner, that's fine. Oh, I don't think we make this in time. No, we didn't make it. Sure repotted. So while we're over here, I guess we get some more bounty contracts. Might as well. We can get up to 4 if there's enough good ones. Don't see why not. Oh yeah, did I ever update the number to the next level? Because we actually gained a 7th level. You can tell because we started exactly at 3,700, or 4,300, I mean. Alright, what do we have here? What do we have? No, we got a second snow globe. Boo! What am I supposed to do with that? I can't do anything with that. I don't know, I guess. This isn't really that many good items. Most of those are actually really bad. Oh, too bad we didn't buy another snow globe. Sometimes I pre-buy for doing like normal merchant, obviously, but it's kind of hard to with this because you have so little inventory. And your routing is all over the place. This is based on detective routing, not based on merchant routing. Alright, there we go, perfect. And just grab the one from Westgate, and that should be everything we need. And only half a level to go. And the rest should be pretty free. Combat level will take no time at all. Chef is literally just do an inventory. And Detective is the only other level that's challenging. As far as how much time we have to do it in. I guess Detective in general is kind of challenging, though. As far as anything that does have skill expression, I would say Detective Merchant are like the only two. There are a few in the game that you can do a few gimmicks for here and there, but most of them is just the same loop over and over and over and over and over again. Detective and Merchant are the only two skills that you have to be adaptive to. As far as your routing and everything. Alright, we're looking for a monocle, barefoot, mustache. Monocle, barefoot, mustache. Monocle, barefoot mustache. Monocle, barefoot, mustache. Yeah, we made it within potion time as well. Nice. That's just so nice how much XP you get every single time for a bigger one. Even though they take up forever sometimes. Goose Inn, Guards Archive, Vestment Hall, Dining Hall. That is so free. For how many points that is. It's a double easy into a hard. And just make sure I go to the right spot. Which one is that hard one again? Alright, just making sure. It's actually the first time we got dining room today. It's right next to the other one we keep having to go to. Yeah, my current merchant contracts are really bad right now. Honestly, I almost want to abandon almost all of them. Because they are all over the place as far as where we have to route them. I think I might just do it. Go to the merchant thingy and just see if we can get a better set. I want to drop rhubarb and carrots. Cups are kind of in an in-between. They're not awful, but they're not great. Soap's like the only thing there that's kind of convenient to do with detective routing. Alright, what are we dealing with? Bow, cereal stain brown here. So double brown with a bow. But yeah, I'm probably abandoning these two for hopefully better tasks that are on this board right here. Banana, huge. Tomato, huge. Honestly, all of this, huge. Yes, give me all of it. Tomato or no tomato? That is the question. Let me double check I don't over encumber on top left. I do. I can't take clockwork. Oh no, we could always take it in 2 trips. Just take the other easy one. Alright, that is way better. That's like 1,000 times better than what we had earlier. Because wine is free. I can grab it a triple of orange, pocket watch, and banana. And soap, I'm not sure how we fit soap in there, but we'll figure it out somehow. Soap will eventually get in there. Alright, bow, soil, brown. Bow, soil, brown. Bow, soil, brown. Bow, soil, brown. Is that a bow? That's the scabbard. Bow, soil, brown. Wait, is that a bow? I can't tell who has a bow. There it is. Bow, soil, brown. Actually, give me the other one. I want to get some of the merchant in there when we go. But this one works way better for merchant. It's a worse detective task, but it's a really good where it leaves us for merchant. Yeah, this one's really bad because all 3 of them are in the middle of nowhere. But they route us very close to where we need to go for this, so it kind of works out. Now, if only we had a equipable potion, I'd be able to grab soap right now. But because there's no equipable potion, I can't grab soap, even though we were going right by soap. Which is really unfortunate. We would also have had the option to grab wine while we're here. The wine is really easy to get on any detective run. Alright, put this in here. Teleport to south. And we do get to turn in orange here. And only orange. Alright, what do we have for our contract? Mustache, sling with black here. Free money? I think they're still like 5 silver each. Yeah, 7 silver. 16k detective's not amazing at this level range though. Though he is a 197 at 321. Might be doing that. I don't know, it still seems worth it if you catch them like right when they're about to walk away. Alright, mustache, sling, black here. And about a 4th level to go. Mustache, sling, black here. Mustache, sling, black here. Quibble Lane's annoying. This one's also kind of annoying though, but we get a lot of turning along the way. Alright, so what's the route here? We do Pocket Watch into Kynet's Garden, or into Buy Wine, into Kynet's Garden, into Teleport West, into Cyclops Living Quarter, which is really annoying where it's located, but not as bad as the triple go into every corner of the town steps. Honestly, this one's actually kind of close to that. Still not as bad as the other one though. This one actually had routing with most of our steps. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I gotta remember to buy wine. Probably also turn in to get more tasks when we do that later. Yeah, if only we still had soap. If only these 2 potions were equipable, we would already have it on us. And then we could turn in both banana and soap rather than just banana. I detect aura again. It's only the second time we've gotten it so far. We've been doing almost an hour of detective. That's only the second time we had a detect aura. But honestly, the less the better. As out of any step, it definitely takes the most time. These also requires you to detect aura while you're in the building. It's also easy to forget what color someone was. Because unlike every other visual, the other visuals always stay active. Whereas the color does not stay active. Only stays for like 5-10 seconds or something. The only upside to finding an aura is you know nothing else on your run could be an aura. Because it can only ever be one aura. Alright, now we can turn in our banana and our non-existent soap. And then we can turn in this when we go get new tasks. Still getting merchant up because we still need it at some point. Next really big milestone for merchant that we really care about is 269. Which allows us to do leather worker to 260. Which we need for our 250 all grind that we're still slowly working towards. Even it doesn't seem like that's what we're working towards, there's still an underlying goal of what I want to get done as well. Slowly. It's going to take us months. Especially at the rate we've been barely playing. Oh, wrong person. But the goal is still to reach 250 all. Just not in a rush to get to there. And after 250 all, it's going to be 300 all. Unless they add raids by then. Or something else that's infinitely grindable that isn't skilling. Alright, what are we doing? Black here, clean shaven, Tempest Day. Black ear, clean shaven, Tempest Day. Black hair, clean shaven, Tempest Day. That would be you. Now, what do we have? Sewer pool? No. Bobbin, boulder, fountain. Oh, no, fortune hold farm. This is not good. But we'll do it. I think I'm gonna walk to tower from here. I don't know, is it better to telly or walk? I'm pretty sure walking's fine. Because what I'm gonna do is turn in this wine. And then do Boulder Canyon, then do Fortune Hold. But I want to get new tasks, so in case we can get lucky on it. See if I can get some Fortune Hold farm synergy. So we get to turn in the wine. We'll still have 5%. Love to see it. Alright, what do we need next? We have... Ooh, an interesting selection of... I'll wait. I'm not sure how to feel about these. I gotta go for it. Gosh, that soap is never gonna get turned in. Poor soap. That soap is literally never getting turned in. Alright, let me go to West and go buy our triple. Which at this point is double clockwork into orange. But yeah, this soap is never getting turned in. Poor soap. At some time, we'll finally get it routed, hopefully. Before we gain a detective level. Though at this rate, I don't think we're turning in that soap this entire stream. We're probably just going to abandon it by the end. Could have been better value if we probably just placed it for ribs or something. But yeah, it seems really unlikely we'll be able to get it. Alright, come on, good RNG here. No, you want to. Nice, got it. Alright, so I needed every clock from you. Orange is from you, and then Telly to west so we can go take Boulder Canyon. Oh, so Boulder Canyon's all the way to the west here, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Just double checking. So we'll do aggro skip instead of fear potion. We'll be fine. What's the worst that can happen? Alright, first room went well. Second room went well, easy. Yeah, we're looking for a chef with blue trouser and mutton chops. Chef, blue trouser, mutton. Hey, this one has some pretty good synergy with our contracts right now. Because I can go buy wine while we're down there as well. And turn in everything currently in my inventory. So overall, really good set. It's annoying where we need to go for two of them, but it's en route for everything we need to do merchant-wise. Except for soap. Poor soap. That soap is never getting turned in. Alright, I'm not sure if we'll make it in time, but we're going to use a potion here. I highly doubt we make it in time, though. But we'll give it a shot. But I should have actually done his vestment haul first. This is a long ways away. Yeah, it's all the way in the corner. It's the only really bad task that was in that set. Did we finally grab soap? No. The temptation is so high, though. Just to finally get it out of there. We'd have to go so far out of our way to do soap this cycle, though. The turn-in is fine. The buy location is the problem. I'm doing it. I feel bad for how long we've had it. Plus, at this point, we could probably do detective only and just drop even doing merchant with it. Because we're at the point where we nearly have all the XP we need. Unfortunately, we don't get a new activity till 344. There's one issue I feel like detective has. It feels like throughout most of the skill, there's too much of a gap between everything. Feels like it needs like one more activity in it to kind of offset everything. Like one more that isn't there that should be there. Because it has so many holes where it feels like it almost forces you to go do the passive activity for it. Way more so than other skills. Especially with AFK raid dens being nerfed into the ground. I was gonna say, I thought there was a tree there. It's because it was, we were over top of it, so it went away for a second. Alright, there should be the last 2 merchant turn-ins we have to do. And then for detective, let's see. We're getting like 150k each, give or take a little bit. We're about to turn one in, which means we only have to do, what, 5 more investigations? Did the math right there? Should be about 5 more. Oh, so we got a lot of small ones. There he is. Hey, 6 more to go, or 5 more, whatever I just said earlier. Let's see. Oh, double Kynet. Into how far? That's not as bad as it seems. Yeah, that was the one I thought it was. Okay, just double checking. But yeah, it's double Kynet into the one you have to teleport out of. Yeah, what is that? 6 more investigations? No, 5 more. Oh, I guess it depends on the number. But yeah, 5 more and we're good to go. And then Chef, we do like 1 inventory. Boom, it's done. And then the only other skill then is, I guess, combat 1. With combat then. I'm still not the biggest fan of the overall rework that they did to it, but I'm curious to see how it is once everything is implemented. I just feel like they really went out of their way to go rework combat when they really didn't need to. At least not to the degree that they did. I feel like it will work out, though, once bossing and stuff offsets it. Because if they set it up even like a fraction, like how old school RuneScape is, you could literally get max all combat stats by just killing bosses. There's even restricted accounts that literally do that. But even if you're not restricted, you could easily go from like 70 combats to 99 all, or aka max level, off of just doing bossing. As well as go from 99 all to 200 mil max XP just off of bossing. And I feel like Brighter Shores will be similar. Where while this is the only way to train combat now, once bossing and raids and everything else comes in, like, just that alone will be max combat just by doing those, with how much you would do them. To the point where you might not even interact with the striping system. So the striping system being kind of meh doesn't really matter if you're barely ever going to use it down the line. Once bossing and everything comes in, that is not the right telly. Alright, what do we have? Jamie Noble with a crossbow. Jamie Noble crossbow. Oh yeah, I never updated the number, did I? Let me go do that. I'm so bad at updating that. Where is it? We're at 8 out of 10. Because I forgot to update it when we got our merchant level, like half an hour ago. After we're so deep into the merchant level, I've almost fully knowledged the activity for the AFK activity. Which means not only have we maxed out merchant, or got our level that we needed, but we also have gotten 3 knowledge points into it since then. Since I have updated the number. Whoops. Jamie Noble crossbow. Also, hello, Chad. Welcome, welcome. Jamie Noble crossbow. Jamie Noble crossbow. Jamie Noble crossbow. Jamie Noble crossbow. Oh, that's a quiver. Good thing I did not click on him. Jamie Noble crossbow. Wow, I almost clicked the first one. It feels so bad when you do one of these incorrectly. Your XP rate per hour just tanks. It's been a long while since we misclicked, but it's definitely doable. You just miss one thing, think someone had it, and then nope. This one's not bad, because you can just tell you back to Westgate. This one's actually pretty free. But yeah, when it comes to the Dragonwilds thing we were talking about earlier, we'll probably do that on Wednesday on the 9-year anniversary of the channel then. And for anyone that wants to watch it, they can. Because yeah, my overall feeling towards it is it just feels like another survival game. But it is heavily based on one of our childhood games, so it's like, you know what, might as well try it. It's one of those games kind of set up like Brighter Shores where it's not finished yet, so I would definitely feel like I'd play it less. But it's one of those games I'll probably stream for like 10 hours on that day and then never touch again until like a year or two from now. But at least I'll already have it bought for when they do stuff. If they ever get like a really interesting update or anything else. Alright, where am I going? And why am I going there? Fill in storeroom and investment hall dining. Let me double check what that is just to make sure I don't go to the wrong place. Yeah, that's the one. Just making sure. I was not sure why I always feel the need to take the chest wall in this room but not the other rooms, but we're here, might as well grab them. We got nothing. And we got no— oh wow, 22, so okay, that one's not quite nothing. We're actually high rolled. There's one nice thing about the new combat rework I do have to say. Now that combat is so high, I believe it goes based on your highest combat level. And our highest combat level is currently, obviously, combat. Which has made our highest combat, or highest level go from like 321 to like 880. Which is quite a difference between the two. Alright, let me go touch this. What else do we need? Is that it? Or do we just tele? Yeah, we just tele to Westgate. And then I think we just need 3 or 4 more of these, depending on how big of an option we get. Oh no, actually only 2 more, as long as we get 2 beefy ones. As long as I don't take small ones, we only need 2 more. And then we got the hardest level of the stream done for our 10 levels. Chef is basically free, and then we just have to do combat. Alright, what are we dealing with here? We got a suit stained sandals with a crossbow. Oh, so I think this gets us the rest that we need for our merchant AFK. I forget if people mentioned if silk is any good. I believe people mentioned old Rarg is bad. But I can't remember if people mentioned silk was good or bad. Because I might actually do the AFK activity so we can get closer to actually doing merchant properly again. So we can get a bit closer to 269 so we can do leatherworker again. Suit stained sandals crossbow. Suit stained sandals crossbow. Suit stained sandals crossbow, that would be you. And I believe this is the merchant activity unlocked if we want to utilize that at some point soon. Yep, that is merchant activity unlocked. Which also gives you AFK leatherworker material down the line. Alright, what do we have here? Boulder Archive Southwest Sewer. That is so bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna take this one. This one's a really small one, but gosh, is it so much easier. I'm gonna do a bit of a weird routing for this one. I believe it's slightly quicker doing it this way. Not what I wanted. Because now we go to council office and just go straight into Goosen. And if we were still doing merchant with it, I would grab some contracts here too, but we only need 1 more after this one. So I'm not going to grab any. Actually, I might get there quick enough to even use the XP pot still. As long as we get both of these first try. Come on, RNG. Boo. Oh, you can actually reach them from there. I forgot about that. Nice. There's also a chest right there since you can actually check the filing cabinet there for loot. Oh yeah, there's no way we're making that in 39 seconds. The walk is pretty far, plus I still need to go to Goose to go get the step. How much XP do we need? We need... Oh, wow. Wait, does this turn and get it already? Wow, I really underestimated how much XP we would get. Wait, just turn in right here actually gives us what we need for it. Good thing we grabbed that one thief earlier. It made it so we get to turn in right here. Yeah, as long as we use a 5% on it. That will be enough to finish it right here. And that would be, what, 8 out of 10 then. Nice. Most levels we gained in a while in a day. Technically we'll gain like 11 or 12 levels by the end. Because the rest of the AFK plus fishing level in like 8 hours. Alright, what are we looking for here? This is the final one we have to do. Let's make it count. Just do not pick the wrong person. Scared Ginger Sandals. Scared Ginger Sandals. Scared Ginger Sandals. That was quick. And that should be a detective level. There we go. 8 out of 10. Let's go to Hopeport. Let's update our number. Oh wait, I already updated to 8 out of 10. Oops. Oh, maybe that's why I didn't do it incorrectly earlier. Never mind. I already updated to 8 to 10. Okay, well there we go. Now we're actually at 8 out of 10. The only two we have left now is Chef and a combat level. And Chef is literally just do one inventory. And combat level should be pretty free as well. Let me just grab some potions that we're going to need. I'll grab like 2 for Hopeport and like 10 for the other chapter. We're not going to need nearly 10, but just in case we die or something. That should be all we need. Alright, chef level is literally as easy as just doing a whole inventory of thing, but I'll also go check what contracts we have. Since we're already here. Yeah, like I said, we gained about 2 gold this stream as well. We started around 30 gold. Like, just slightly under. So we gained like 2.5. Not awful. Not great though, that's less than a gold an hour. But obviously we weren't doing like money makers the whole time. Detective Merchant is, but everything else that we were doing wasn't quite as big of a money maker. This is 2, but it's only like a few hundred silver an hour or something. At least it's not negative, like alchemy. We were checking it earlier too. You know why we're not making this potion at 258? Oh wow, flashbang, I forgot it's still all white and everything. Or right here. This potion is 43 silver each. It is minus 7 gold an hour if you keep the... And that's if you sell back. You lose even more than that if you keep the potion. And only for a 10% XP increase. It is insane how overly priced that thing is. And there's no way we're getting 340 Forager just to go grab it. So yeah, we're skipping and just moving straight to 277. Of which we'll likely be getting both the supplies ourselves. And even if we had to buy from the shop, it's not that much of a loss. Though we likely will be gathering both of them ourselves. And the few that we do buy will just be offsetting if we don't get the correct numbers even. Because we're likely to have less Thistle than we do Clover, as Clover is way easier to bank than Thistle. Even though Thistle's better XP. But counting bank time, it's honestly probably worse XP even with the Sickle. Make sure to drink the right potion. There's Bitez. I feel like he's always here every hour. When I was doing AFK Chef, he's like here every hour on the hour. He was at one point a couple hundred levels lower than us. And because we haven't been playing as much, he's like 150 up on us now. Actually, exactly 150 up. But he's literally doing cooking contracts every hour on the hour. Like, if I AFK do, Chef Stews for 5 hours straight, he will be here literally every hour. Grabbing his ventures, or grabbing his bounties. I'm definitely not that paranoid about it these days. I think on average, I check the bounty board like 3 times a day. I think we already did it like 4 times this stream. But an average day these days, I check it like 3 times probably. Maybe slightly more if I'm doing like Alchemy AFK or something. If I'm doing one of the other AFKs, it's normally like 3. Some people still check it literally every hour. Takes quick commitment. If we ever wanted to try hard all the way to 500 Chef, we probably would. I'm not in a rush to get there though. I'd probably take it a lot more when we're in the golden age of tasks, though, which is at 276. Because honestly, I'm probably going to get most of my XP just from tasks at that time. As all 5 of them are a really good task. The cotton chips I'm already going to have banked, which is the worst task there. 2 of them are literally free, just buy from the shop. And the other 2 are one-steppers. It's as free as you can ever get ever in the history of Chef. The final 5 is somewhat similar, though one of them slightly harder. The chicken and leek pie. And technically the cotton chips is harder too, just because of the level requirements on it. But the only time you get a better setup than this is never. And the only setup comparable to this range is at max level. Like literally like 490 Chef when you're already done with the skill. Alright, what do we have for bounties? Not bad. I can go do that real quick. Why not? Alright, how many do I need to sell? I need to keep 8. Sentry's a little bit out of the way, but that's fine. We'll do it. I don't really like to synergize on Sentry, but we'll go there just for a big walk. I know we need 6 Tiger Ray. Or 8 of them. I don't mind wasting these on some smaller ones as well. Mostly because as soon as we gain to 234 and 7 more levels, we never need Tiger Ray ever again for the rest of the time. So I don't mind spending them now. We might eventually run out soon if I keep spending them like this, though. But since we're eventually going to never need them again, I've been spending them pretty heftily. Like, if a task says 10 and another one says 9, it's like, oh yeah, sure, why not take both? Mostly because in 7 more levels, we never need them again. So whatever's still left in there just gets sold or dropped or whatever. Or just sit there to rot. I'm not going to bother potting up at Melv, but we will at Little Lucy. Oh yeah, I forgot to go update the number. We're at 9 now. 9 out of 10. I forgot to update the chef number. Alright, 1 level to go. And it's gonna be our combat level. The thing we've been trying to ignore until they fix combat. Or, you know, implement the rest of combat. Alright, we'll grab the plants on our way there. Because with this routing, we have a lot of spare time. For the 5% pot, so we will grab the 5 plants. Oddly enough, I won't bank them though. We'll keep them in our inventory as we do combat. Oh yeah, that's one nice thing about the combat rework though, I do have to say. We don't have to keep changing our gear. Even though there's very few things we can kill, when we do want to go kill things, we don't have to ever change our gear. So what I'm already wearing is already our best in slot. Though I've been using cosmetic overrides lately. We've been using the bunny outfit to be festive. Oh yeah, also, by the way, Happy Easter. This is probably our last time we're doing Brighter Shores before then. I should have probably said that at the beginning of the stream, because I'm pretty sure I'm not doing another Brighter Shores stream between now and then. I might, if they do something like really big in the next several days. But there's likely not to be another Brighter Shores stream between now and Easter, so I hope all of you have a wonderful Easter. As it is right around the corner. And 1 week from today is actually the 9-year anniversary of the channel as well. So we'll be celebrating that day. Which honestly probably the day we'll be doing Dragonwilds. Might throw a little bit of Brighter Shores in there though. We'll see. And obviously we'll be doing Gems of War for any Gems of War people out there. At our normal time at 8 PM Eastern Standard Time. Which probably every single day that week I'll probably stream. Just in celebration of 9 years. Yeah, I thought it was 8 years earlier. I double checked. It's actually 9 year. We started doing it in 2016. It is 2025 currently, so that'd be 9 years then. Still crazy that it's been that long. It does not feel like it's been 9 years. Almost a whole decade now. Alright, we'll kill this one Viper. This is not the Viper I want to kill, though. Now, let's see how we do. We are the same combat level. He's a level 880, we're a level 880. We are weak to yellow, though. I might as well bring out the combat thing. Just so we can see our combat stuff. Yeah, this is what our current gear is looking like. And we're currently losing to something at our exact level range. With a 4-star weapon and full 2-star gear. In all fairness, we are using a 2-handed, taking more damage, but still, the rapier doesn't do much better. I've tried. Let's go get our combat level. Please tell me no one's here. Yes, no one's in the good spot. So the best spot to be doing Viper is right here because they're only 2 tiles away from each other. Depending on your gatherer level, you can also grab a free poplar tree and a free flat scale and ore, depending on where your woodcutting and ore gatherer level is. Unfortunately, at my current level range, neither are worth doing. But if it was, you should be grabbing one and just doing these 2 snakes here. The only problem is only 1 person per server can do it here. So you gotta hope that no one else is here. Though luckily, with current player base numbers, that's really easy to do. Oh yeah, that one piece is actually really useless. I'm just gonna drop them to the ground. That's for the level 35 heal pots. I'm not even gonna justify picking them up. I don't know, when trading comes out, they're a few silver each. But yeah, they're for this potion over here. Technically, my alt accounts could really use that. But without trading, they're not worth trying to pick up to go send to them. Also, why am I losing so hard in this fight? But yeah, they're used to make the 35% heal pot at level 35. That's funny, it's 35-35. I never noticed that till now, after the change. I'm gonna need a double heal on this guy. Why is this one so much stronger? Are the butterflies buffing him? Butterflies giving him AoE buff right now. What's going on here? Why is this Viper so strong? But yeah, the thing that they drop is for this potion, which is pretty pointless for us, as it is way too far away from our current level. Our alt accounts need it, but we have no way to send it from this account to the alt accounts. We'd also have to bank like crazy, because they drop 4 at a time. So even if we had nothing in our inventory, and a couple of potions were in the game, we'd still have to bank like every 6 drops, which is way too often. Like every 12 Vipers, we'd have to go bank. Okay, I might need more heal pots. I slightly underestimated how much they would obliterate us. We'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. No, we're not gonna be fine! Let me grab some basic heal pots. I have severely underestimated how bad our character would be fighting the exact same level enemy. A full set of 20 should be enough. We need some, but not that many. Yeah, there should be enough to go get our final level then. So, when does special attacks getting released? Soon, hopefully. Give it about 3 to 6 months. Honestly, based on their current public roadmap, doesn't seem like it's anytime remotely soon. So how many more kills do we need? We need 1.7 mil more XP. How much are we getting per kill? Oh, it's not that many. That's like, what, 6-7 kills? If we're potted up the whole time, it's 6 more kills after this guy. You know, I'm just gonna pick these up. Who knows, maybe trading is within the next year. Because my old accounts really need this. Like, I don't. They would only sell for 1 silver. But it saves the alt accounts like 3 silver, 4 silver each or something. That would really help them get to 50 alchemy for Branolf Inheritance, as well as whatever other new quests they might add to Chapter 1. I'll use melee for once. I mean, not melee, one hand, I mean. Obviously, it's all melee. I know, shield's not helping too much, though. Come on, 3-star shield, tank harder. No! I want to try doing the shield stagger thing again. I'm not sure if it actually works or not. It visually looks like we're shielding it when we do. Let me try shield staggering them. We're going to bring out the bug slash feature slash. They haven't fixed it even though it's been reported for months. I know, Rippity. Yeah, if we do Dragonwilds, we are definitely going to need to keep a death counter. Though I do hope they add a hardcore run at some point. Where if you die, it wipes the whole server. Now, if they did that for Dragonwilds, I'd be a little bit more interested. A survival game where if you die a single time, your whole server is wiped. I do like that. Now that's a true survival game right there. 1 death and 100% of progress gets wiped. Yeah, let's try this again. Round 3. We will eventually kill the snake. Okay, I'm gonna shield stagger. Is it helping at all? I have no clue. But visually, he's putting up a shield every time. Is that shield doing it in actual anything? I have no clue, or if it is or not. But if it's helping even slightly, we need it. How hard is it to pick up the thing underneath you? We're just trying to pick up the thing underneath. There we go, tickle. Actually, it's so click intensive. I have no clue if it's even doing anything. I sure hope it is, though. We're not gonna bother doing this for this kill. I think it's the final one we need. No, 2 more. Or 3 more? 2 more. This one and 1 more. And that will be 10 levels then. And as far as the main thing I've been AFKing lately, it's mostly been Bone Right. We're trying to get Bone Right to 258. So when we get Gatherer up, we'll be able to go use the 280 Gatherer Bones. Because I'm skipping the Forager grind for Gatherer grind. Any level I would have put into Forager, I'm just putting into Gatherer. At some point, if we want 250 all, I do need to go get 250 Forager. But in the short term, I'm putting every level I feel like I should be putting into Forager into Gatherer instead. It's just a way better skill as far as what you get from it supply-wise. It's lower knowledge per hour, but the EXP rates honestly aren't that big of a difference between the two. Especially with how much multi-skilling Gatherer has with woodcutting. Yeah, it should be the final thing for 10 levels. And then next time we play, unless Umbi goes crazy, we should be higher than Umbi finally. We'll be 15th. We're mostly just trying to hit our level goals. That's a nice little milestone to have, though. Because I think it was rank 3 at one point. Yeah, there we go, combat level. That's the last combat level we're probably getting until the rework. Realistically, at this point. But anyways, guys, yeah, I guess we're ending it there for now. It's everything we wanted to get done. That is officially 10 levels out of 10. Of course, a lot of them are already like halfway there. But hey, 10 levels is 10 levels. And we got to get a level on almost every skill in the game. There's just, what, 19 skills, and we did, or no, less than 19. There's 15 skills, and we got a level in 10. So we got a level in 2/3 of the entire skill in the game. That's not too bad. Now to go get the other 5, no. That'll take way too long. Actually, what 5 did we not do? We didn't do Forager, Fisher, Woodcutting, Leatherworker, and Gatherer. Yeah, that would take a while. Almost every single one I mentioned would take like 2 hours each. Definitely a solid hour and a half. Say we're not going to do that. We'll be streaming till like midnight. Alright, good. They don't get in the way of anything. They just go in the Hope Forest Monster Part area. Interesting. But yeah, these are used for the weaker healing potion. You can actually get the stronger healing potion there too. The potent one. Let me grab all these. It's definitely not the main AFK we're running for now, but I do want to get some of them down before we end up hitting our next level threshold. Because I need all of them out of my bank by the time I hit 267. I only have enough banked for like 2 more levels in Alchemy though. Hey, Mighty's is here. He's still going strong. Still like 500 something levels ahead of us. But anyways, guys, I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Hope you all have a wonderful Easter if I don't see you by then, if you only watch the Brighter Shore streams. Because I'm not sure if our next one will be between then. They should be doing an update post as far as their weekly progress in the next few days. So while we're probably not getting an update in the next few days, we should have an update on when the update is, if nothing else. So fingers crossed, we'll have more info on when the first quest, new quest, is going to be coming out. As the 4-star quest that they've been teasing for a little over a month now, a month and a half, should be very, 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 very soon TM. But hopefully next week at some point. Maybe the week after that. So hopefully that has a good reward. Supposedly it has the best reward of any quest in the game so far. So we'll see what that means. So yeah, that should be right around the corner. But until then, honestly, we probably won't be streaming at all. Until that quest gets released. I keep saying that, but honestly, it's been like a month and a half now. But I don't know. We've still been waiting on it sometime soon. Unless something else big happens in between, we'll see. But otherwise, that's the next big content for the game that we will be grinding out, messing around with, using whatever features we get from the quest. Because there should be something we should be able to infinitely use afterwards that will help us with stuff. Either equipable potion or some kind of other new alchemy thing, who knows? Some other thing, who knows? But something related to Hopeport, as is a Chapter 1 quest. Anyways, guys, hope you all enjoy your week. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, as always. Greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.